Gati KWE Limited for addressing all of us, and his topic is Gati and Shakti for manufacturing and SMEs for empowerment of the supply chain. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I will keep this as short as possible because we covered a lot of ground this morning. I'll just start off with a few very key parameters and not spend too much time on this, but today in India, MSMEs contribute 30% of our GDP and 49% of our exports, employing 111 million people. And we have a total count of 64 million MSMEs in the country today. So when I attend forums like this and when all of you are here, we are basically talking about a very, very significant part of the Indian economy being represented and being developed in these kind of conferences. In terms of where Gujarat stands on the MSME landscape, about 5.2% of total MSMEs state-wise are in Gujarat. So it is an extremely important state for us. And in terms of the four key parameters which make MSMEs competitive is the strategic nationalization and internationalization of markets and demand for MSMEs, the competitive challenges faced through the pandemic and going forward, major supply chain volatilities which exist for us both internationally and domestically, and finally, leveraging digital and visibility for the businesses. In terms of how Gati can support MSMEs in the country today, is the first, which is unmatched reach. Unmatched reach, especially for micro and small enterprises, allows them to get to markets, access channels and customers, which were previously not available to them. The second aspect is being future ready. With the reach and the network that Gati brings, especially for micro enterprises, it gives micro enterprises the opportunity to develop new supply chain models, which are not just-in-time fulfillment based, but storage fulfillment based. We have hub centers and warehouses across the country and a reach to 19,800 pin codes across the country as well. And for micro enterprises, this is a huge opportunity to leverage our network. And last but not least is the aspect of technology. Digitization is what enables good business practices, and that is what we are focusing on and helping you deliver to your customers. Very quickly, this is the sort of span that we have across our nation. The whole of India, 735 districts covered by Gati, 19,800 pin codes and 600 offices across the country. This is the kind of network that we can offer micro, small and medium enterprises to enhance your business today. Last but not least, Gati belongs to the All Cargo Group, and the All Cargo Group actually brings a large number of international solutions to MSMEs as well. It is a key focus area for the All Cargo Group, developing business along with MSMEs and enabling you to reach global markets. So I've kept it as short as possible. Thank you all very, very much. Me and my team are here. Please do approach us, and we are happy to answer any questions and help you in any way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. Ashish Agarwal, Country Manager, Commercial Channel Value and GMHP. His topic is Digital Resource for SMEs Growth. Can we have a huge round of applause for him?
Hi, good afternoon everyone. श्री ये बहुत ही मुश्किल सवाल हम लोगों से पूछा गया था और जो सब्जेक्ट दिया गया है वो डिजिटल रिवॉल्यूशन। जब हम गुजरात स्टेट की अगर बात करते हैं तो गुजरात का जो एक नाम आता है, शायद आपको पता होगा कि गुजरात ड्रॉस इज नेम फ्रॉम गुजारा, और जिस स्टेट का नाम अपने आप में सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनरी हो कि जिसके बिना गुजारा ही पॉसिबल ना हो, उसके साथ में रिवॉल्यूशन की क्या बात की जाए, है ना। सो आप लोगों का जो व्यक्तित्व है उससे हालात ऐसे बने हुए हैं, चाहे वो डोमेस्टिक मार्केट हो चाहे वो इंटरनेशनल मार्केट हो, कि अगर हम कहीं पे भी बिजनेस की बात करते हैं, गुजरात का नाम ना लिया जाए ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. तो many congratulations to everyone for creating such an environment कि जहाँ पे सब लोगों को belief system है कि गुजरात के बिना गुजारा possible नहीं है. डिजिटल रिवॉल्यूशन की जब भी बात करते हैं गुजरात के साथ में वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा रिजेंबल करता है, बिकॉज जब भी हम ये गुजरात स्टेट के बारे में सोचते हैं तो हम सोचते हैं इनोवेशन के बारे में, हम सोचते हैं डिस्ट्रप्शन के बारे में, और हम बात करते हैं रिवॉल्यूशन के बारे में. लेकिन बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है कि हमारे जितने भी गेस्ट स्पीकर्स थे सिंस मॉर्निंग वी ऑल आर टॉकिंग अबाउट गोइंग लोकल टू ग्लोबल. वी ऑल आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द ग्लोबल एक्सपोर्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी इन द मार्केट. We are talking about the opportunities available for the MSME in India. But what is important, the fact is that there is a critical role of digital, and digital transformation is not an option for any SME customers going forward. While we are moving from a pandemic to endemic, I think the biggest learning what we have right now, that कि जो technology को, processes को, automation को और tools को हम लोग option समझ के चल रहे थे आज की डेट में. But we all have realized in last 2 years, that's the only way to go. Because while we are talking about pandemic to endemic, fortunately, but we are also living with the fact that whatever the changes we have seen now in our professional and personal life is going to be remain forever. And why it is important, what I'm going to cover in next 15 minutes, 10 minutes, that why it is important for MSME to look at the digital transformation. One, that digital transformation of an MSME is an important from a perspective of coverage. अगर हम इंडिया में और ग्लोबली अगर हमारे मार्केट में ज़्यादा कस्टमर के साथ में, टारगेट ऑडियंस के साथ में अगर हमें पहुंचना है, तो डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन इज गोइंग टू प्ले अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. द सेकंड इज इंप्रूविंग द एफिशिएंसी. आई थिंक मेनी गेस्ट स्पीकर वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट इंप्रूविंग द एफिशिएंसी. इफ यू हैव अ डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, you solve the biggest problem of improving efficiency. Third, the cost is going to be a very important factor, right? One of the guest speaker was talking about how do you really improve the quality and how do you really, take care of the cost. So digital transformation really helps improve the scalability in the business, and that also solves the cost issues. And very importantly, for MSME, whenever we have an opportunity to talk to our customers, what we are hearing is that how do you really attract the talent in the new business in a global MNC era, right? So providing in a right technology, providing in a right tools is very, very important for your employee to stay productivity, and hence they brings a lot of the efficiency in the whole process and the executions, and hence this digital transformation is very, very important. Coming to the next slide, that 2/3 of the SMB customers in India, we are at a stage right now at an inflection point where we are talking about Industry 4.0. So what is the Industry 4.0? Industry 4.0 is just an extension of Industry 3.0. So Industry 3.0 was on a personal computer where most of the MSME have gone through the digitization of their data. And now we are talking about Industry 4.0, which is just an extension of Industry 3.0. If somebody has to really simplify that what is going to be different from 3.0 to 4.0, it is all about the smart manufacturing. And how do you really create a smart manufacturing environment for a manufacturing industry? Then the smart manufacturing is all about that you have a different system, different data are talking to each other on the real-time basis, and you understand the data in such a way that you can take an informed decision. We have an opportunity to interact with many of the SMB customers across the country, and whenever we talk to them, we really understand the biggest challenges in the pain area, what they go through. And most of the MSME customers have acknowledged that they have realized during the pandemic time that the digital transformation once upon a time, which was a choice, is no more a choice, is absolutely critical for the business for the 5 problems which I have just spoke about right now. One is improving the efficiency, second is reducing the cost, third is the retention and giving a better employee experience, fourth is the productivity of an employee, and fifth is the coverage. So if you have to really focus on the 5 elements which is core to the business, the digital transformation is absolutely critical for the business. What is also happening right now that while we all understand that digital transformation is important for the business, but the digitization has also intensified the operational challenges, and it puts a pressure on the India's IT leader. So let's understand that, for example, the company who is based out of Ahmedabad, The reality is that the 50% of the people are now in many verticals working from home, and some of the people are even working from office. So when you know the fact that the people have to collaborate together, somebody is operating from Baroda, somebody is operating from Surat, Jamnagar, Valsad, Vapi, Rajkot, Jamnagar, anywhere. And it could be from the remotest part of the Maharashtra also. But what is important, if the person is not operating from the office, how do you really ensure the collaborated workforce? So the biggest problem is the distributed workforce. And since you have a distributed workforce, the people are operating in a different environment, hence the connectivity becomes an issue. The another issue, what they really feel is, when you are connecting to a public network, how do you really ensure that your, the devices is absolutely secure? We all would have heard that till now, we all are talking about the security from a software perspective. We all are talking about the security from a network perspective. But the device security is going to be extremely critical, because most of the people now work on the laptop, and they come, they work in the public domain, and they work on the public network. When you are operating in a public network, then it is important that your business has to be secure. And for your business has to be secure, your data has to be secure. Cyber security in a post-pandemic situation is the biggest problem which industry is facing today. And third is the more ambitious employee. So the fact is that the industry is not able to attract the talent, and even though if you really attract the talent, the second biggest problem what you really have is, how do you really retain them? So give a better technology and the processes so that they really feel contented on the work what they have been given, and they do their, the job better, which is very, very important. And second is the focus on the environmental science. We need to be really mindful. The people were talking about the ocean-bound plastic. I'm so proud to say that we being a worldwide leader in the global market today, we are absolutely focused on the sustainability, which is the key parameter, while you really focus on the manufacturing. You look at the product what we supply in the market like desktops, you have a 90% power efficient power supply, which really solves the electricity issue, which is supporting the environmental science. And most of the notebook what we sell in the market is made from the ocean-bound plastic, which is another significance, the HP benchmarking, that while you are buying in a product which is slightly higher on a price, but the company is absolutely focused on the global sustainability goal. The question is, you really understand the customer problem, you also know the priority, and you also know the aspiration. Then how do we really solve some of the larger issues highlighted by the customer like yours, and how we are solving them? So now we all acknowledge the physical world and the digital world is getting merged. So what we are doing at a worldwide level, the HP Tech Venture company is absolutely focused on some of the large mega trend in the Indian worldwide manufacturing industry. We are just looking at a data trend like artificial intelligence, the IoT, the Industry 4.0 revolution, where the data science is going to play a very, very important role. And what we are looking at, how do we really grade all the latest technology like in a metaverse, and you create an ecosystem which really helps you to improve your processes and manufacturing capability in the market. And all the disruptive technology like a 3D printing or like a metaverse, HP is leading today to ensure that there is an innovations which supports the Industry 4.0 objective. There are 4 pillars which we are absolutely focused on right now, that during the pandemic we all have learned that the workforce is going to be fragmented. How do we ensure there is a better collaborations within the organization? How do we ensure that there is efficiency in the workforce? How do we ensure that every product you deliver to your customer is done with an innovation in the marketplace? And how do we ensure that every devices you use from HP is secure to ensure that your data is also secure? Shailesh, during his the speech, also mentioned something called the device as a services. It's not only about using a desktop, notebook, or a workstation from an HP. It is important what kind of a solution we are bringing on the table. So device as a services is actually focused on the solution to the customer. The learning from a pandemic that most of the customers today want to really focus on their business continuity, and hence we want our customer to invest in their own business, while we provide a solution which is a per device solution, and hardware and services is taken care by HP, and you focus on your business continuity. And you pay the money as per your conveniency, whether it is a 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, so you have a product available at a subscription basis. And all the power of hybrid work environment which we have witnessed in the marketplace, the whole idea is that every single products we sell in the market, it really solves the problem of the collaboration, a seamless transition, and the personalization. You might have a customer, you might have a user who's absolutely focused on design. You will have a power user, you will have a very basic Excel user. You will have a devices requirement where you have to collaborate with your international customers who would require a very sharp display, and that will require a high resolution camera also. So all the products which we innovate in the market and bring to our MSME customer is solving a 3 larger objective, which is a need of a business today, and ensuring the cost is optimal to the customer and it's at affordable prices. The Z portfolio, which is available right now in a 2 form factor from an HP side. One is on the tower and second is the mobile form factor. So tower form factor is in the form of desktop, and then mobile form factor, which is in the form of notebook. Every single user who is focused on the designing, who is focused on the data science, who is focused on the heavy computing, who has a high graphics requirement, you have a solution available from an HP which gives you discrete GPU for your requirement and is available at an affordable price in both the form factor, which is tower and the mobile. Our mobile workstation is spread across with the different sizes, whether there is a requirement of 14-inch screen, whether it's a requirement of 15.6 inch, whether there's a requirement of 17-inch screen size. And similarly on the tower desktop, if requires a different computing power like i3, i5, i7, i9, to a variety of computing, the 16 GB, 32 GB memory, 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB of graphics card, and the different OS, which is like an Ubuntu Linux and the Microsoft, every customization is possible to meet your business requirement. We did touch upon the pandemic has really taught us the world is going to be hybrid for everyone. What does it mean? That while the life has changed for all of us, but it has changed in reality forever. We don't see going forward across the vertical, wherever we talk to our large CIO customer, that the users are not willing to now operate from the office. It's going to be a 50-50, 60-40, 70-30. Depends on the environment they operate, depends on the business need, which means if you really have to continue with the hybrid work, which eventually is an advantage for a lot of MSME customer, how do you really take care of the security issues which you are going to deal with? The research says that 80%, 800% of the increase in the cyber attack and 70% of the successful, the data breaches we have seen, and 99% of the causes, it is primarily clicked by the end user. So while we take care of the opportunity which is available for our customer, we need to be really mindful for all the products you purchase to take care of your business need. With the last 30 seconds which I have, I just want to give one message to everyone that the way we have seen now, the India is growing at a worldwide level. We are talking about the organized economy and we are talking about the unorganized economy. The MSME is going to play a very vital role for the next level of India growth. And if the MSME has to grow to the next level, so trust me, it's just not because that I represent today the HP brand. The technology tools, the technology transformation, right technology is no more an option. You have to have a right devices for your users. You need to have a right processes and tools to stay them more productive to ensure your business grows faster than your competition. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you.
Kumar Mehta, AGM, Punjab National Bank, Ahmedabad. And his topic is fueling manufacturing and SME sector, role of Punjab National Bank.
मंचासीन महानुभाव, हमारे आए हुए उद्योगपति, बिजनेसमैन, ट्रेडर्स, मेरे बैंकिंग फ्रेटर्निटी के मेरे कलीग्स, इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर से ऑफिशियल्स, आईटी और बाकी सब मेरे साथ आज इस समिट में हिस्सा लेने वाले सहभागी, सभी को सर्वप्रथम मेरी तरफ से प्रणाम। पंजाब नेशनल बैंक की तरफ से मैं आप सभी को सबसे पहले धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं और एसएमई एसोसिएशन को भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म उन्होंने दिया जिसमें कि हम आप तक एक साथ पहुंच सकते हैं। पीएनबी अपना एफर्ट्स बता सकता है और आप लोगों के साथ जुड़ सकता है। पीएनबी निरंतर कोशिश करता है कि वो आपका प्रेफर्ड बैंक बने। पीएनबी की हिस्ट्री 127 साल पुराना बैंक है। 1895 में स्टार्ट हुआ और भारत का प्रथम स्वदेशी बैंक। आज पीएनबी भारत में सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक है। और आज का जो विषय है एमएसएमई, उसमें अगर मैं पिछले साल का परफॉर्मेंस पीएनबी का आपके साथ में शेयर करने में मुझे गर्व होता है कि लास्ट ईयर मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एमएसएमई की तरफ से 3rd अवार्ड पीएनबी को मिला, जो हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी द्वारा हमारे एमडी सीईओ साहब को पर्सनली दिल्ली में कैंप दिया गया। और इसी एफर्ट में हम लोग निरंतर कार्य कर रहे हैं कि ये 3rd से हम 1st कैसे आए। सो आप लोग जो हमारे साथ में आज एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बिजनेसमैन हैं, सुबह से हम लोग देख रहे हैं कुछ सक्सेस स्टोरीज, कैसे एक छोटा सा बिजनेस कैसे बहुत बड़ा होता है। सो इसमें मैं आप लोगों को बताना चाहता हूँ बैंक का कहाँ रोल आता है। बैंक, हम लोग ऐसा सोचते हैं कि हम आपके 75% पार्टनर है आपके बिजनेस में। हम सिर्फ ये नहीं सोचते कि हमारे पास पैसा है और हम आपको उसे उधार दे रहे हैं। सो हम आपके साथ एक पार्टनर होते हैं। सो जैसा कि चंद्रकांत जी ने कहा था कि सोच, एक पैसा आपको जो बैंक जो सर्विस दे रहा है उसकी सोच क्या होती है, उसी सोच पे हमारा सारा कार्यवाही डिपेंड करता है। सो एक ही काम को करने के 2 तरीके, जैसे आप दो आदमी अगर एक काम करते हैं, एक आदमी ये कहता है कि मैं एक ईंट के ऊपर दूसरा ईंट रख रहा हूँ और वही सोच के काम करता है, और दूसरा ये सोच के करता है कि नहीं मैं घर बना रहा हूँ। सो दोनों के कार्य तो सेम है बट सोच बहुत अलग है, और यही सोच जो है अंतर बनाती है। सो मैं आप लोगों को ये अश्योर करता हूँ कि पीएनबी आज इसी सोच से काम करता है। आज जो भी एंटरप्रेन्योर्स पीएनबी के साथ जुड़ते हैं, हमारी ये मनोकामना होती है कि हम उन्हें चरम पे देखें। आज 25 साल बाद में जब एंटरप्रेन्योर पलट के देखे तो वो ये बोले कि हाँ, पीएनबी से मैंने अपना एंटरप्राइज स्टार्ट किया था। और ऐसे कई उदाहरण हैं जब हम लोग ये देखते हैं कि एंटरप्रेन्योर्स इतना बड़ा होने के बाद भी बोलते हैं कि मैंने 10,000 से मेरा लिमिट स्टार्ट किया था और आज वो 10,000 करोड़ पे चलता है। वही हम लोग आप लोगों को भी अश्योर करते हैं, यही आगे भी पीएनबी की परंपरा रहेगी। और इसके लिए हम लोगों ने क्या कदम उठाए, उस पर आप लोगों को जो इम्पोर्टेंट आप लोगों के लिए है वह है कि हम आपको क्या प्रोडक्ट देते हैं, हम उस प्रोडक्ट को आप तक कैसे पहुंचाते हैं और उसको आपके साथ कैसे चलते हैं। सो इस राह में मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि एमएसएमई, जैसा कि चंद्रकांत जी ने कहा था कि एमएसएमई पहले एसएसआई कहलाता था, बट बाद में उसे कहीं मिड कॉरपोरेट का दर्जा दिलवाने के लिए एमएसएमई हमेशा स्ट्रगल करता रहा। बड़े कॉरपोरेट्स को हमेशा एक अच्छे रेट पे लोन मिल जाता था, इजीली मिल जाता था, बिना कोलैटरल, कम कोलैटरल मिल जाता था। बट एमएसएमई जब भी जाता था तो हमेशा उसे एक हायर रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट मिलता था, और कई बार ऐसा भी होता था कि उसे एनबीएफसीज के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट होना पड़ता था क्योंकि पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक उसका उस समय हाथ नहीं पकड़ती थी। पर पिछले 10 सालों से ये सिनारियो पूरा बदल चुका है। आज पीएनबी मिड कॉरपोरेट सारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को एमएसएमई मान के 100 करोड़ रुपए तक का लोन देता है, जिसे हमने एक स्पेशलाइज्ड पॉलिसी बनाया है। उस पॉलिसी के अंतर्गत रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट आपका हमेशा, आप किसी भी तरह का आपका बैलेंस शीट होता है, मेरा रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट उसमें आपको बाकी सबसे एकदम परफेक्ट ही मिलेगा। एक बड़े इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट जैसा ही रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट हम एक एमएसएमई को भी देते हैं। और उसके साथ में कोलैटरल का रिक्वायरमेंट भी उस स्कीम के अंतर्गत में हम लोगों ने बहुत कम कर दिया है। आप जब भी आप लोगों को कुछ रिक्वायरमेंट होगा आप उस चीज़ को महसूस करेंगे। और फर्दर जब हमने ये प्रोडक्ट बनाया, इस प्रोडक्ट के साथ में आपके सारी चीज़ों का ध्यान रखा कि एमएसएमई को किस किस चीज़ों की ज़रूरत पड़ती है। उसमें बीजी का कमीशन, एलसी कमीशन, सर्विस चार्जेस, सभी चीज़ों का ध्यान रखते हुए स्पेशलाइज्ड प्रोडक्ट बनाया गया। इस प्रोडक्ट को हमने फर्दर रिफाइन करने के लिए, जैसा कि प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बोला कि आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव, 1 डिस्ट्रिक्ट 1 प्रोडक्ट, उसी थीम को आगे ले जाते हुए क्लस्टर्स डेवलप किए। क्लस्टर्स जैसे आपने देखा मॉर्बी हमारा क्लस्टर है, टेक्सटाइल सूरत हमारा क्लस्टर है, ऐसे कर हमारे 83 क्लस्टर्स ऑल ओवर इंडिया है। तो हम उस एरिया का स्पेसिफिक उस एंटरप्रेन्योर का रिक्वायरमेंट को जज करके, उनसे फीडबैक लेके और उस प्रोडक्ट को डेवलप करके वहाँ पर उनको उसी टाइप का प्रोडक्ट देते हैं। बिकॉज हम जानते हैं कि हर एक एमएसएमई, हर एक इंडस्ट्री का एक अलग बाउंडेशन है। हर एक बैलेंस शीट स्ट्रांग नहीं हो सकती, हर एक बिजनेस दूसरे बिजनेस से कंपेयर नहीं किया जा सकता। कहीं आपको दिखता है कि रिसीवेबल ज़्यादा होते हैं, कहीं आपका बाज़ार में लेनदारी ज़्यादा होता है, कहीं स्टॉक का होल्डिंग ज़्यादा होता है। ये सारी चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखते हुए हमने हर क्लस्टर, हर इंडस्ट्री के लिए एक अलग प्रोडक्ट बनाने का कोशिश किया है और आगे भी हम लोग इस चीज़ को जारी रखेंगे। अब ये प्रोडक्ट को डिलीवर करने के लिए, चूँकि जब प्रोडक्ट बन गया, अब ये प्रोडक्ट आप तक पहुँचेगा कैसे, तो उसको पहुँचाने के लिए हमने अब स्ट्रक्चर डेवलप किया। मिड कॉरपोरेट सेंटर्स बनाए गए हैं स्पेशल, जिसके अंदर आपके हमारे स्पेशलाइज्ड टीम्स हैं, जो आपको डेडिकेटेड टीम होता है, दे आर हाईली नॉलेजेबल एंड उनका काम ही यही है कि वो आपको सपोर्ट करें। वहाँ पे आप लोगों को डेडिकेटेड रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर्स दिए जाते हैं और आप किसी भी हमारे आज ऑल ओवर इंडिया इस तरीके के 116 सेंटर्स काम कर रहे हैं। गुजरात में 14 सेंटर्स काम कर रहे हैं, अहमदाबाद में 2, गांधीनगर में 1। सो दैट वे प्रोडक्ट एंड उसका डिलीवरी। देन कमिंग फर्दर, जैसा कि बात हो रहा था कि जनरेशन गैप, जनरेशन के बाद में जो स्मार्ट इन्वेस्टर, यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर, उनके लिए भी बैंक ने अपने आप को पूरा मोल्ड करते हुए डिजिटलाइजेशन को एक्सेप्ट किया है। हमारे सारे प्रोसेस अब डिजिटलाइज होते जा रहे हैं, इवन प्रोडक्ट्स भी डिजिटलाइज होते जा रहे हैं। आप लोगों को मैं यहाँ प्रोडक्ट पे आके, हमारी टीम पे आके आप कहेंगे कि अब मैं कैसे इसमें इंटीग्रेट करूँगा। सो आप जब इस प्रोडक्ट और मेरी टीम के साथ इंटीग्रेट करना चाहते हैं तो आप वो अपने एक SMS के थ्रू, इंटरनेट बैंकिंग के थ्रू, हमारी वेबसाइट के थ्रू या हमारे PNB One ऐप के थ्रू डाल सकते हैं। हमारा टीम आपको ऑटोमेटिकली रीच करेगा। सो इसके साथ में फर्दर मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि जब हम ये तीनों चीज़ों को एसिमुलेट करते हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली हमारा जो प्रोसेस टाइम होता है वो कम हो जाता है। सो मैं जहाँ तक आज तक जान पाया, एक बिजनेसमैन की यही रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, टाइमली पैसा दिया जाए, अच्छे रेट पे दिया जाए, ट्रांसपेरेंसी से दिया जाए, उसे बताया जाए कि उसका काम कब होगा। सो हम सुनिश्चित करते हैं ये पूरे सिस्टम में कि PNB आपको एक अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस दे और आपका प्रेफर्ड बैंक बन के बाहर आए। और इसी निवेदन के साथ मैं आप लोगों से कहना चाहता हूँ कि PNB इज़ ऑलवेज देयर फॉर यू। आप लोग कभी भी हम लोगों को अप्रोच कर सकते हैं। आप लोगों का जो भी पर्सनल रिक्वायरमेंट है आप बता सकते हैं। आप यहाँ पे कई लोग इंडस्ट्री से हैं, इंडस्ट्री एसोसिएशन से हैं। अगर इंडस्ट्री एसोसिएशन में आप लोगों का कोई विशेष रिक्वायरमेंट है, वो भी आप कभी भी PNB से आप बोल सकते हैं। वी कैन डेवलप अ प्रोडक्ट फॉर यू, स्पेशलाइज्ड प्रोडक्ट जो आपकी नीड्स को कैटर करता है और उस पर समय समय पे उसको मॉडिफाई करके आपके हिसाब से चेंज किया जा सकता है। और इसी के साथ मैं आप सबको पुनः धन्यवाद देता हूं और आशा करता हूं कि आप लोगों के सपोर्ट से नेक्स्ट ईयर PNB को हम फर्स्ट अवार्ड दिलवाएंगे नेशनल MSME में। धन्यवाद।
Go-to.com and his topic is Digital Workspace Transformation for SMBs. Can we have huge round of applause for him?
Thank you. मैं બેંગ્લોર में रहता हूँ। मैं गुजराती हूँ मूળ નિવાસી કચ્છનો છું, પણ હમણાં હાલમાં બેંગ્લોર 27 વર્ષથી ત્યાં છું ને બધાને ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર અહીંયા આવવા માટે ને મને ચાન્સ આપવા માટે, મારી કંપનીની બારેમાં વાત કરવા માટે। તો હું હવે ગુજરાતીથી હિન્દીમાં શિફ્ટ થઈશ ને ઇંગ્લિશમાં પણ શિફ્ટ થઈશ, તો મારો સાથ આપજો જરા। અમારી બૂથ ત્યાં છે, તો મારો જ્યારે પ્રેઝન્ટેશન થઈ જાય એના પછી તમને કાંઈ પણ ક્વેશ્ચન્સ હોય, મારા કલીગ્સ પણ ત્યાં છે, હું પણ હોઈશ ત્યાં, આવી જજો ને હવે વાત કરશો। સો just to let you know what has happened in last 2 to 3 years, what we are seeing now is a world which is uneasy। आज हर जगह आप देखेंगे पैंडमिक से जो चालू हुआ, उसके बाद जो रशिया का वॉर हुआ और उसके बाद जो रिसेशन अब हम देख रहे हैं ग्लोबली, लोग बात कर रहे हैं कि रिसेशन आ रही है, इंटरेस्ट रेट्स बढ़ रहे हैं, पेट्रोल का भाव बढ़ रहा है। आपके सबसे ज़्यादा मार जो पड़ती है महंगाई की या इस तरह के प्रॉब्लम्स की, वो पड़ती है बिकॉज ऑफ दीज इश्यूज ऑन MSMEs। और क्योंकि यहाँ पे वर्किंग कैपिटल कम होता है, बजट्स कम होते हैं और आपको आपका बिजनेस चलाना है एफिशिएंटली। वैसे हमारे फ्रेंड्स ने बोला कि कैसे एफिशिएंटली आप कर सकते हैं, तो आज के डेट में आपको डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन का ये यूज़ करना पड़ेगा। टूल्स यूज़ करने पड़ेंगे जो आपको डिजिटली ट्रांसफॉर्म कर सके। जैसे मिस्टर चंद्रकांत ने भी बोला था कि आपको आज आप टेक्नोलॉजी से दूर नहीं जा सकते, आपको टेक्नोलॉजी को साथ में लेके चलना पड़ेगा। और आज के डेट में हम आपको ऐसे टूल्स प्रोवाइड करेंगे जो आपको इस जर्नी में हेल्प करेंगे एंड विल टेक यू टू द नेक्स्ट लेवल। आज वर्क प्लेस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन का मतलब क्या होता है कि आज आप देखेंगे तो आपको आपके कस्टमर्स के साथ में कनेक्टेड रहना है, आपको आपके एम्प्लॉयज़ के साथ में कनेक्टेड रहना है। आज कहीं पे लॉकडाउन हो जाता है, कुछ आपके नेचुरल कैलामिटीज़ हो जाते हैं, आपका बिजनेस रुक नहीं सकता। आज वॉर है कहीं पे, आपको आपके कस्टमर से बात करना है, आप ट्रैवल नहीं कर पा रहे हो, आप क्या करोगे? तो आपको आपके कस्टमर से और आपके खुद के एम्प्लॉयज़ से कनेक्टेड रहना बहुत ज़रूरी है। तो हमारे जो टूल्स हैं आपको वो एग्जैक्टली वो चीज़ करने में हेल्प करते हैं। और मेरे को बोलते हुए खुशी हो रही है, आई वॉज जस्ट शेयरिंग दिस विथ माई fellow member here, Mr. Ashish, that HP uses our products to support their end customers. I'll show you which product is that, but उससे पता चलता है कि एक ग्लोबल कंपनी जब हमारे प्रोडक्ट्स यूज करके सपोर्ट कर रही है तो हाउ वी कैन डू इट। ही वॉज राइटली टॉकिंग अबाउट द टूल्स विच कैन एनेबल दिस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन जर्नी फॉर यू। अभी आज के डेट में आपकी भी आईटी टीम होगी, आज हर एक के पास लैपटॉप है, आपके नेटवर्क हैं, कोई बड़ी कंपनी है, कोई छोटी कंपनी है, और हर किसी की ज़रूरतें अलग है। आपको लेकिन एक चीज़ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, आज के डेट में आपको कनेक्टेड रहना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। आज आप पेपर बिल्स पे काम नहीं कर सकते। जीएसटी लागू होने के बाद पूरा आपका जो बिलिंग सिस्टम है वो सब चेंज हो चुका है, आपको हर टाइम ऑनलाइन अपडेटेड रहना पड़ता है। तो आपका जो आज आप कहीं पर भी बैठे हो, आपका आईटी वर्कलोड इस तरह से बढ़ता जा रहा है कि आपके पास डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ एप्लीकेशंस है। कोई गवर्नमेंट बोलती है कि मेरे इस पोर्टल में आओ, आईटी डिपार्टमेंट बोलता है इस पोर्टल में आओ। आपका आईटी रुक नहीं सकता, इट कैन नॉट जस्ट स्टॉप वर्किंग। अगर आपका आईटी ठीक से काम नहीं करेगा तो आपके प्रॉब्लम्स बढ़ते जाएंगे और उसका वर्कलोड बढ़ता जा रहा है। तो हम क्या करते हैं उस चीज़ में, आपको हेल्प करते हैं, आपका आईटी हमेशा आपका जो अप टाइम है वो बना रहे और आपको जो आपकी एम्प्लॉई की एफिशिएंसीज बढ़ती रहे और आप आपके कस्टमर्स को अच्छी तरीके से सपोर्ट कर सकें और आपके एम्प्लॉयज़ को अच्छी तरह से सपोर्ट कर सकें ताकि उनकी एफिशिएंसी बढ़े। सो जस्ट हमारी कंपनी के बारे में आपको बताऊंगा। आपने नाम, ये हमारा नाम जो चेंज हुआ वो गोटू करके चेंज हुआ इस फरवरी में। इससे पहले हम वी वर कॉल्ड एज लॉगमीन। 2003 में ये कंपनी एस्टैब्लिश हुई थी बॉस्टन में और हमारा सबसे बड़ा जो प्रोडक्ट था उस टाइम का था वो रिमोट एक्सेस का था। हमारे जो फाउंडर थे वो रिमोटली किसी को सपोर्ट करते थे, तो उन्होंने सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप किया कैसे एक एंड कस्टमर को वो वहाँ से सपोर्ट कर सके दूर से। सो उस आइडिया को लेके उन्होंने कंपनी बनाई। फिर हम लोगों ने सोचा कि हाउ वी कैन इंक्रीज कोलैबोरेशन बिटवीन द एम्प्लॉयज़ एंड द कस्टमर्स। तो हम लोगों ने कुछ कंपनीज अक्वायर की अक्रॉस द ईयर। गोटू मीटिंग करके आपने नाम सुना होगा शायद, और वेबिनार या ट्रेनिंग्स आपको करना है तो ये सारे प्रोडक्ट्स हमने अक्वायर किए और कंपनी बनाई थी लॉगमीन। अब उसका नाम हो चुका है गोटू फ्रॉम दिस ईयर ऑनवर्ड्स, बिकॉज हमारे पास मल्टीपल प्रोडक्ट्स थे। अब हम उनको सिंप्लीफाई करके 2 प्रोडक्ट्स में लाए हैं और वो आपको हेल्प करेंगे आपके बिजनेस को स्केल करने में। और हमारी इंडिया स्टोरी ऐसी है, हम यहाँ पे 11 साल से हैं, हमारे पास 45+ SME पार्टनर्स हैं और 2000 प्लस SME कस्टमर्स हैं जो हमको ट्रस्ट करते हैं। और हमारी इंजीनियरिंग एंड R&D सेंटर बैंगलोर में है एंड हमारे बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स इंडिया में डेवलप होते हैं आज के डेट में और ये संख्या बढ़ भी रही है। सो व्हाट इज़ गोटू? सो गोटू is an all-in-one solutions for all essential connections. Essential connections मतलब आप अपने कस्टमर से कैसे कनेक्ट करते हैं, आप अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ से कैसे कनेक्ट करते हैं, हाउ डू यू सॉल्व देयर प्रॉब्लम्स विथ 99.999% अप टाइम. इसका मतलब ये होता है कि ये कभी भी ऑलमोस्ट आज तक वैसा डाउन टाइम नहीं हुआ. आप काम कर रहे हो और सडनली बंद हो गया, ये नहीं होता. और हम 100% SaaS कंपनी है. आपको हमारे प्रोडक्ट को यूज़ करने के लिए सिर्फ एक ही चीज़ चाहिए, HP का लैपटॉप और उसमें इंटरनेट कनेक्शन, एंड यू विल बी एबल टू कनेक्ट टू आवर प्रोडक्ट्स एंड वर्क ऑन इट, राइट. सो वी कीप इट वेरी सिंपल. हमारे ग्लोबल पार्टनर्स हैं, हमारे पार्टनर्स भी इधर आए हुए हैं, आज 2 हैं. हाथ खड़े करिए प्लीज़, जस्ट टर्न एंड सी. या थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग. और उन्होंने हमारा गोटू का टी शर्ट भी पहना, वो शर्ट दूसरी कुछ पहन के आए थे, आज यहाँ पे आके उन्होंने चेंज भी किया. थैंक यू फॉर दैट. सो हमारे अभी 2 प्रोडक्ट्स हैं. बेसिकली वी कॉल इट एज गोटू रिजॉल्व एंड गोटू कनेक्ट. गोटू रिजॉल्व है आपको IT में सपोर्ट करने के लिए यूज़ होता है. इसमें है रिमोट एक्सेस. जैसे मुकेश भाई अनिल भाई से मिलने गए और उनको उनके घर के PC में से कोई फाइल निकालनी है, वो कैसे करेंगे? तो कोई भी आप लैपटॉप लीजिए, हमारा एक रिमोट एक्सेस सॉफ्टवेयर है, उससे आप अपने घर के PC में लॉगिन करिए और वो डॉक्यूमेंट आप ओपन करिए एज इफ यू आर सिटिंग ऑन दैट PC, राइट. तो उतना सिंपल है ये. और आपकी IT टीम है, आपके पास 5 प्लांट्स हैं. आपकी IT टीम आज आपके जो प्लांट में आपके MD के लैपटॉप में कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ और वो आपका IT का बेस्ट इंजीनियर मोरबी के बजाय राजकोट में है, तो वो राजकोट से लॉगिन करके मोरबी में जो PC है उसको ठीक कर सकता है. सो वो हम आपको सॉफ्टवेयर देते हैं. सो रिजॉल्व आपको इस तरीके से हेल्प करता है, इसको बोलते हैं रिमोट सपोर्ट. और IT में जो आपको चाहिए, जैसे टिकटिंग वगैरह की, आपके कितने प्रॉब्लम्स आए, कितने सॉल्व हुए, और आप जहाँ पे पैसा लगा रहे हो आप उसका रिटर्न ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट आ रहा है कि नहीं, वो इम्पॉर्टेंट है यहाँ पे. तो वो हम आपको फ्री प्रोवाइड करते हैं विद द सॉफ्टवेयर, जो एक SME के लिए बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. हमारी कंपनी बनी ही इसलिए है कि हम SMEs को सपोर्ट कर सकें, and it has been doing it. Not that we do not support enterprises, but we have products which are meant for SMBs specially, and we focus on that basically. So, और एक चीज़ मैं आपको बताऊंगा यहाँ पे, on the right hand side you see the go to connect part. यहाँ पे आपको ट्रेनिंग्स करनी है. जैसे आप कुछ मटेरियल आप कुछ एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, आपके कस्टमर को आपको ट्रेन करना है, तो आपको ट्रैवल करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. आप मल्टीपल कस्टमर्स को एक साथ ट्रेन करना चाहते हैं, या आपके प्रोडक्ट के बारे में आप 20 लोगों को बताना चाहते हैं, जो नटवरलाल भाई भी बोल रहे थे कि आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं टेक्नोलॉजी टू डू ऑल ऑफ दैट. आज आप यहाँ पे बैठे 20 लोगों को आप पिच कर सकते हो एक्सपोर्ट करने के टाइम में. तो ये प्रोडक्ट जो गो टू वेबिनार है वो हम प्रोवाइड करते हैं अलॉन्ग विद गो टू कनेक्ट. तो इससे आपका एफिशिएंसी जो है बढ़ता ही जाता है और आपके कॉस्ट्स कम होते जाते हैं. हमारा फोकस उस चीज़ में है. सो मैं ज़्यादा टाइम ना लेते हुए अभी जस्ट एक ये दिखाना चाहता हूँ कि हमारे कस्टमर्स कौन से हैं. मोस्ट ऑफ द ब्रांड्स आपको यहाँ पे पता होंगे कि वो कौन है. HP इज़ वन ऑफ आवर बिगेस्ट कस्टमर्स एज आई मैंशन, एंड देन विप्रो, और जो बाकी यहाँ हमारे इंडियन IT इंडस्ट्री के स्टॉलवर्ड्स हैं, वो अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को सपोर्ट करने के लिए भी हमारा प्रोडक्ट यूज़ करते हैं, राइट. सो मैं आपको एक प्रोडक्ट के बारे में ज़्यादा ध्यान दिलाना चाहता हूँ. इसको बोलते हैं लाइव लेंस. ये एक बहुत रेवोल्यूशनरी प्रोडक्ट है. इट यूजेस योर मोबाइल फ़ोन टू सी व्हाट योर कस्टमर इज़ सीइंग एंड सपोर्ट देम. सो सपोज़ आप आज एक मशीनरी बनाते हो और उसको आप एक्सपोर्ट करते हो. आज आपको उसको सपोर्ट करना है कस्टमर को, और आपका कस्टमर फ़ोन करता है कि मेरा ये मशीन काम नहीं कर रहा है. तो आप उसको वहाँ भेजने से पहले आप ये देख सकते हो कि वो मशीन में एग्जैक्टली क्या प्रॉब्लम है. आप उस कस्टमर को गाइड कर सकते हो कि कैसे उस प्रॉब्लम को ठीक किया जाए। ओवर एन एनोटेशन आप उसमें ड्रॉ करके उनको बता सकते हो, और ये सारा आप रिकॉर्ड करके रख सकते हो, ताकि आप अगर सेम प्रॉब्लम आए तो आप अपने सपोर्ट टीम को या अपने जो इंजीनियर्स आप उनको बता सके कि आप इसको देखो, और ये देख के कि लास्ट टाइम कैसे ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हुआ था, आप ऐसा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करो। तो ये आपको हेल्प करता है। यहाँ पे देखिए एक बाइक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी है, ज़ीरो मोटरसाइकिल्स बोल के, ये इलेक्ट्रिकल बाइक्स बनाते हैं। तो आज एक इलेक्ट्रिकल मोबिलिटी का बहुत चलन है, और गुजरात में एज आई नो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज हु आर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ई बाइक्स एंड सेलिंग इट अक्रॉस द ग्लोब एंड इन इंडिया। तो आज आप उनको सपोर्ट करना है, उसमें बहुत सारा इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और कंप्यूटराइज भी होता है। आज इट इज़ नॉट कि वो मैकेनिकल डिवाइस रह गया, अब वो एक इंटेलिजेंट डिवाइस भी हो गया है। The bikes I'm talking about. Why I'm calling it a device is because there is some amount of intelligence in that electric bike. So आप उसको दूर से देख के इस तरह से आप देख रहे हैं, और यहाँ पे एक इंश्योरेंस कंपनी जनरल इंश्योरेंस को क्लेम को प्रोसेस करती है हमारा टूल्स यूज़ करके, उसका नाम है एंडस्ले इंश्योरेंस। So if you are in such businesses which requires you to travel to do something, you can do that before traveling and save a lot of cost for your company. I have a video, I'm not sure.
Today, we're taking a look at how Rescue Lens can be
अब
used
ये
to guide
वीडियो देखिए
customers
आपको
through a
पता चलेगा ये
self-service
कैसे
path.
काम करता है।
With Lens, technicians can extend their reach and uncover the source of an issue as though they were actually on site. Once in a session, technicians can chat with the customer as well as use predefined replies to help save time. By using the camera on the customer's mobile device, technicians can see the issue and evaluate the situation without ever leaving their desk. In this example, we can see that a customer has experienced an error message. By using a Rescue Lens, the technician is able to see what's on the screen, troubleshoot the issue, confirm the source of the problem, and determine the best course of action. Here, we can see that the technician is able to use the whiteboarding feature to help show the customer what needs to be done. With the power of Rescue Lens, technicians can minimize truck rolls, reduce product returns, and help customers set up and adopt complex products. If you have any questions, please feel free to view the Lens documentation or contact customer care at help.logmein.com.
और बिना ज़्यादा टाइम लेते हुए मैं आपसे आज्ञा चाहूँगा, मेरा टाइम ऑलमोस्ट अप है। आपको अगर कोई क्वेश्चंस हो तो आप उधर आइएगा, मैं वहाँ पे रहूँगा, मेरे कलीग्स भी हैं, विल टॉक टू यू एंड हेल्प यू आउट विथ योर बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम्स। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर टाइम।
Next, I would like to invite Mr. Pramit Joshi, Senior Director, Credix. His topic is Achieve Rapid Growth of Business with Domestic and Exports Supply Chain Finance. We'll be taking Q&A session after this session. Thank you.
Hi, good morning all, and thank you. I'm Pramit Joshi from Credix, who Rajkot thi chu, born and brought up in Bombay, Gujarati, and honored to be part of this conference. It is really heartening to be here always in Ahmedabad, in Gujarat, all the industrial manufacturing units. And the discussion that I want to have today is in terms of exports growth and SMEs. How is financing a bottleneck, and how we are solving for it? So background wise, હું પોતે એક banker છું. I have worked in banks for about 15 years, different banks. Started my career with Yes Bank, IndusInd, Citibank. Then I had my own startup in Singapore for exports factoring, which now is part of a larger startup, Moglix. Moglix is a unicorn startup now. We have raised more than $500 million of equity capital. So traditionally, if you see business and finance કેવી રીતે કામ કરે છે, that how it happens is that you go to a customer and the customer gives you an order. Customer आपको order देता है. It can be a buyer that you have in India. It can be a buyer that is overseas. So there is a separate negotiation that you do with the customer, that what will be the price of the products that you're going to sell, what will be the commercial terms, delivery schedule, quality, everything. And then as an SME, You come back and then there is a separate challenge that is initiated, that how are you going to finance to build for that order, and if there is a credit period, how are you going to hold on to that credit period? And the bigger challenge always is that आप अपने कस्टमर को ट्रस्ट कैसे करोगे कि अगर आपने क्रेडिट पे माल बेचा तो उसका पैसा आपको टाइम पे मिल जाएगा. So these are two different challenges, and time and again there have been multiple government schemes, there have been lot of ways in which banks also have been trying to solve, but there are issues, bottlenecks, and we all know that there is a huge gap in SME financing. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to look at commerce and financing as a single transaction. We are trying to marry the two, and that is what is supply chain finance. That the day you get the order, you don't really have to worry how are you going to finance it. There is a company which is right there, which will give you money to buy raw material, which will give you money to give credit period to the customer, and which will also ensure that if customer doesn't pay, you will get paid. That's the beauty of factoring or a supply chain finance solution that comes in, that your responsibility is only to ensure that you deliver goods of the stated quality that is agreed with the customer as per the contract, and the supply chain finance company, which is Credlix, is going to take the responsibility that you get paid on time. And this is not a new concept, this is an age-old concept. This is what I'll show you the statistics in terms of what are the factoring volumes in China, what are the factoring volumes in Europe, and where as India we are, which is 1% of some of these markets. So quickly, I'll just give you a background about Moglix and Credlix. So Moglix is the commerce business and Credlix is the financing business. These both are same companies, only the brand names are different. As a commerce business, we are Amazon or Flipkart for manufacturing companies. So you can go on moglix.com and buy any spare part, electrical cables, labor safety kit, consumables, fasteners. There are more than 50,000 SKUs available on Moglix. As a factory purchase manager, Tamit Jaine, you can buy these products online and it will be delivered to your factory. We are a 7-year-old organization. We are invested by some of the global investors in the world today, including IFC, Sequoia, Tiger Global. We have raised about $470 million. We are a team of 1,500 people in the country, and we have supplies today to more than 3,000 large factories, and we buy from 20,000 SMEs. So the other side is we are a digital technology manufacturing platform where you can also sell to Moglix. So that is a different business, but today I'm here to talk about Credlix, which is the supply chain financing business of Moglix. And these are some of the investors. Mr. Ratan Tata was one of the first investors in our company when we started. So as Credlix, we today have supply chain financing to more than 3,000 SMEs. We are present in 4 countries, India, Middle East, Singapore, and US. We work with today more than 100 exporters and 3,000 SMEs, and we finance them on pre-shipment as well as post-shipment, and we take cover on the buyer non-payment risk. So, and this is something which is over and above your bank limits, how you can avail supply chain finance. So I'll just come to that in terms of numbers where we are as India. So what happens in factoring is, and especially in Gujarat market, I have covered it as a banker, I have also covered other markets. The misconception that a lot of promoters have is that, I am taking a bank loan, I really don't want to look at factoring, I'm good with my bank limits. However, there is a fundamental difference in terms of what factoring does vis-a-vis what loan does. When a bank is giving you a loan, it may be a loan which usually is backed by collateral for SMEs. And even if it is not backed by collateral, when the bank is giving you a loan, that loan has full recourse on you. So whatever happens to the goods that you have supplied, you have your inventory, if the buyer doesn't pay on time, the bank is going to ask you to repay on due date, else there are multiple implications in terms of you getting reported as a defaulter, you getting qualified as a delayed payment in your CIBIL score, and there are multiple other issues as a company, as a promoter, especially when you take bank loans, you usually will end up giving personal guarantees. So that's the loan aspect of it, and whenever you take a loan, it's your balance sheet which shows that there is a liability that is coming on your loan. When you take factoring, the factoring company is ensuring you two things. So one is that today when you are selling to a buyer overseas, you haven't, generally, there may be buyers which are old and you know them, you have met them, they have met you. But there are a lot of cases, especially in pandemic, where buyers are new, you want to grow, but you don't know whether you should be selling to that buyer on credit or not. And similarly, there is an issue where the buyer doesn't trust the supplier and he doesn't want to pay advance. So that's where factoring companies come in, while letter of credit is a tool which is there, but that again is very different in larger transactions. It is not usually provided by buyers, where buyers, if it is new or large, and the supplier is small. And we have seen many cases where LC is not available. And even with a site LC, there is a risk that you will send the goods, and what if there is a discrepancy that happens in the LC? For factoring, what happens is, and what we do is, we have credit insurance and relationships with banks, with factoring companies across 90 countries. And we will give you a credit report of the buyer, that if you are applying for a limit against the buyer, if you want to do exports, then whether the factoring company is ready to take the risk of buyer non-payment or not. That is the first starting point, कि आपके buyer ने अगर पैसा नहीं दिया, factoring company आपको 90% of that value दे देगी once you give the bill of lading to the factoring company. As in, you just give a copy bill of lading on our portal and you will get paid 90% of the value of the shipment. So your risk as a SME of buyer not paying is off your head. You are not worried कि buyer ने पैसे दिए नहीं दिए. अगर factoring company ने approve किया है, तो आपका buyer अगर credit period भी मांग रहा है, आप credit period भी दे सकते हो, और आपको risk भी नहीं है वो buyer नहीं pay करने का. And that is one of the reasons why, if you see 1990s से and late 2000s से जो China के exports grow हुए हैं vis-a-vis India, the availability of factoring in these markets is very deep. There's a government company, Sinosure, which, if it provides insurance, getting bill discounting against that insurance is very easy. So in fact, I had to discuss this with colleagues, where we had a discussion in the morning कि ECGC भी आपको cover देता है 75%, 80%, 90% का. But ECGC cover is very different than factoring. कि ECGC cover, अगर buyer ने पैसे नहीं दिए, आपको 3 महीने 6 महीने लगेंगे वो पैसा claim करने में. But आपका जो बैंक का working capital limit PCFC, PSFC drawn होगा, वो overdue हो चुका होगा. You will have to pay from your pocket. ECGC का पैसा आएगा तो आप बैंक को दे दीजिएगा, बट नहीं आया तो आप ही को देना है, और वो आपको पूरा क्लेम फाइलिंग करना है ECGC से पैसा लेने के लिए. Whereas the factoring company is going to pay you 90%, the headache is not yours then to recover the money from the buyer. And that's one of the reasons why China could push such export growth, because financing was available a lot more easily than India. Today, China does about $400 billion plus of factoring annually, which is largely MSME driven, and India does less than $4 billion. So that's the kind of gap which we are trying to bridge. We, as a commerce company, Moglix, and a supply chain finance company, Credlix, we are trying to marry this together, कि आप order लीजिए, and then everything else is something which the factoring company will be able to manage your risk and give you the necessary liquidity. So happy to discuss. I'm around for the day. We have an office in Ahmedabad. We have office in about 40 cities in India today. And we're working with a lot of MSMEs and spreading awareness of this product, where usually in Gujarat especially we have seen promoters are conservative in terms of, loan nathi joti, dhando karwa mate, hame to hamara paisa di dhando karsu. So this is not loan, that's exactly, this is like, you are not taking a loan, you are finding a buyer who's going to pay you much earlier and not take the responsibility of, a buyer not paying on time. So this is how the process is. We can go into these details. One more feature which I wanted to mention is, we not only provide post-shipment finance, which is financing after the shipment is done. If the buyer is approved by us and the supplier is something which is an existing relationship for us, we can also provide 40% of value of the order as pre-shipment finance to grow your business. And there is another option. Moglix, being a commerce company, we supplying industrial goods, raw materials, right from steel, polymer, a lot of these basic raw materials also. You also have an option of buying this raw material on credit from Moglix. The benefit here is the cost will not be, because Moglix aggregates this. Moglix does more than $1 billion of these supplies. We are aggregators, consolidators, and there are SMEs where, I'll give you a case study in one of the cities in South. What we have done is the association there had a specific requirement for buying a specific category of raw material which need to be imported from China. We are actually aggregating demand for that raw material and supplying it to the Credlix approved SMEs, because we know that the buyers there are going to be discounted by Credlix. So that's how we are helping SMEs achieve growth. The process also that we follow is pretty simple. There is no security, no collateral, etc. that is required to avail supply chain finance from Credlix, and we are working today with more than thousands of buyers globally, and we'll be happy to explain more about this and take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. Rajendra Man Pandey, General Manager, NBG Gujarat, Bank of India. And his topic is Finance and Investment for the Growth of SME and Manufacturing Sectors. Can we have a huge round of applause for him?
नमस्कार, मैं आर्यन पांडे, जनरल मैनेजर गुजरात बैंक ऑफ इंडिया। जैसे गुजरात के लोगों को ये पता है कि हमारी बैंक ऑफ इंडिया 1921 से जो टाटा की बैंक थी, गुजरात में इसका प्रेजेंस है। जो आज हमको सब्जेक्ट मैटर दिया गया है वो है फाइनेंसिंग एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट फॉर द ग्रोथ ऑफ SME एंड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग। ये जो यहाँ लोग बैठे हुए हैं इंटरप्रेन्योर हैं, इंटरप्रेन्योर्स के एसोसिएशंस एंड रिलेटेड जो उनके फोरम्स हैं उसके लोग बैठे हैं, सारे ज्ञानी लोग हैं मेरी नज़र में। ये सब्जेक्ट हम बहुत ही एक क्रिटिसाइजिंग इफेक्ट है बैंकर्स के बारे में, पर्टिकुलरली पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स के बारे में। फाइनेंसिंग के लिए जो हमारी रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती है, बैंकर्स की जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती है और आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट्स, दोनों को रिक्वायर जो चीज़ें चाहिए, आपको फंड चाहिए, उनको आपका स्टेक चाहिए, उनको डॉक्यूमेंट्स चाहिए। और जब हम इस पे एक वार्ता करते हैं या इसके बारे में सोचते हैं, जैसा हमारे सालुंके साहब ने बताया, एसएमई सेक्टर का हमारे पूरे जीडीपी में 30% है, 29.78%, और एक्सपोर्ट में 50%, और केवल 16% यूनिट्स फाइनेंस अवेल किए हुए हैं। या तो उनको मिलता नहीं, या वो कैश रिच है, या वो प्रयास करते हैं उनको फंडिंग नहीं हो पाती, और कुछ लोग इच्छाएं प्रबल रखते हैं लेकिन रिसोर्सेस इनवर्ड एंड फॉरवर्ड लिंकेज अवेलेबल न करने के कारण कोलैप्स कर जाते हैं बीच में। आज हमको ये ज़रूरत है समझने की कि व्हाट इज फाइनेंसिंग बाय बैंक्स एंड फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस। तमाम लोगों ने ये देखा होगा कि वो बैंकों में जाते हैं, आज एक कागज़ ले आओ, कल कागज़ ले आओ, परसों ले आओ, फिर तीसरा वाला चला जाता है, फिर कुछ प्राइवेट ऑपरेटर्स चले जाते हैं, कुछ एनबीएफसी आ जाते हैं, कुछ इंटरमीडिएटरी आते हैं कि 3% दो, उस बैंक में मिल रहा है, चलो दिलवा दे। दिस इज फैक्ट, आप मानो या न मानो। तो फाइनेंसिंग के लिए सबसे पहले हमको अपने को मजबूत करना है कि व्हाट इज माय प्रोजेक्ट, व्हाट इज माय प्रोजेक्ट। आप खुद तैयार नहीं रखते हो, उस बिजनेस को करने के लिए हमको चाहिए क्या? हमको अपना स्टेक चाहिए, विदाउट स्टेक कोई नहीं देगा। और फाइनेंसिंग इज रिस्क बेस्ड फेनोमेना, सारे लोग जानते हैं, गुजरात के लोग विशेष रूप से जानते हैं, महाजनी सिस्टम। हम आपको पैसा देंगे तो आप हमको इस पे देंगे क्या, और इसकी सुरक्षा क्या है? जो जितना नज़दीक और एश्योर्ड रहेंगे उसको सबसे कम प्राइसिंग रहेगी। 4%, 1%, 3%, 5% उस पर निगोशिएशन होता है। और भाई तुम ये लेके बिजनेस करने निकल गए हो, इसकी सुरक्षा क्या है? घर से अपने जेवरात ले आओ या कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें रख दो। दिस इज महाजनी, आई थिंक सो। सेम बैंकर्स का है। बैंक एक रेगुलेशन के तहत काम करता है, जिसमें भारत सरकार की गाइडलाइंस, हमारा फाइनेंशियल रेगुलेटर्स आरबीआई की गाइडलाइन, इवन सेबी, इरदा, सारे के गाइडलाइन पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक पे लागू होते हैं। तो सबसे पहले हम आपको बता रहे हैं फाइनेंसिंग, व्हाई यू नीड फाइनेंसिंग एंड हाउ विल यू गेट द फाइनेंस फ्रॉम द बैंक्स। हम पर्टिकुलर बैंक ऑफ इंडिया के फाइनेंसिंग की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं। वी आर वेरी ओल्ड इन दिस कंट्री, इन दिस गुजरात। We are having business more than 11 lakh crore. We are having our branches in all 5 continents. We are the first Indian bank to establish our overseas branch in Britain. ये सब जानते हैं आप लोग। हमको फाइनेंस के लिए हमारी जो ज़रूरत है, पहले आप अपने प्रोजेक्ट को समझो। व्हाट इज योर प्रोजेक्ट? उस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए आपके पास क्या कैपिटल है? योर ओन स्टेक, जिसको बैंकर्स की भाषा में मार्जिन कहा जाता है। तीसरा, आपके पास इनवर्ड एंड आउटवर्ड मीन्स फॉरवर्ड लिंकेज क्या है, रिसोर्स क्या है, किसको आप बेचोगे, रिसोर्स को कब पैसा देना है, और जिसको बेचोगे उससे रियलाइजेशन कब होगा, ये सोचो आप। सोचने के बाद जब आपका प्रोजेक्ट बनेगा, आप बैंकर से अपने जो आपके फाइनेंस या अकाउंट्स जो भी देखते हैं उनके साथ बैठ के वन गो में डिस्कशन करो। वन गो में। अगर आप एक दिन भाई को भेजोगे, एक दिन बच्चे को भेजोगे, एक दिन डिफरेंट कम्युनिकेशन इज वेरी, बहुत सफिस्टिकेटेड वर्ड है। आज बैंक वाला कुछ बोलेगा आपके बच्चे को, बच्चा आपको कुछ आके बोलेगा, कल आप अपने अकाउंटेंट को बोलोगे, वो आके कुछ बोलेगा, और लास्ट में बैंक तक आते आते हो जाता है बैंक वाले दौड़ाते ही रहते हैं। बैंक वाले को देना नहीं है, वो ऐसे ही दौड़ाता रहता है। तब आप मिनिस्टर से फ़ोन कराओगे, पुराने कस्टमर से फ़ोन कराओगे कि ये देख लेना, और उसमें से एक इंटरमीडिएटरी आपके पास आएगा, चलो हम करा देते हैं, प्राइवेट बैंक 7% पे दे रहा है। मीन्स यू आर टोटली अनप्लान्ड। व्हाट इज द मेन प्रॉब्लम ऑफ द एसएमई? एसएमई में हम अनप्लान्ड है। यहाँ इंटरप्रेन्योर वो लोग बैठे हुए हैं जिनके बिजनेस रन कर रहे हैं। हम उनके बारे में बोल रहे हैं जो ढंग से रन नहीं कर रहे हैं या कोलैप्स हो गए बीच में। रीजन यही है। फर्स्ट यू शुड फील द चैलेंजेस। आपके पास स्टेक आपका कहाँ से आएगा? स्टेक आ गया, प्लानिंग कहाँ से आएगी? आपके पास रिसोर्सेस में स्किल रिसोर्स नहीं, पर्सनल नहीं है जैसा लोग बोले, और मार्केट आपको सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा है। और बेस्ट पीरियड जिसको सक्सेसफुली क्रॉस किया है दैट इज कोविड। भारत सरकार की महान दया रही सारे बिजनेसमैन पे, आत्मनिर्भर योजनाएं लाई गई, कुछ लोग यूज किए, कुछ लोग मिसयूज किए। देना है आपको है। तो जब आप बैंक में जाते हो तो 3 चीज़ें हैं। आप कितनी जल्दी फाइनेंस पाते हो? बैंकिंग की भाषा में उसको टैट बोलते हैं। एप्लीकेशन जिस दिन आपने दिया और जिस दिन सैंक्शन लेटर मिला, दैट इज कॉल्ड टैट, टर्न अराउंड टाइम। ये मिनिमम होना चाहिए। और ये मिनिमम तब होगा जब आप अपने प्रोजेक्ट को अंडरस्टैंड करेंगे और उसके लिए रोड मैप आपका तैयार है। बैंक वाले को आपसे क्या चाहिए? आपका कैपिटल चाहिए, आपका एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए, आप कितने स्किल हो ये बताने की ज़रूरत है। तीसरी जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है कि हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू मूव फॉरवर्ड एंड हाउ द बैंक विल सिक्योर देयर डेट्स, बिकॉज दिस इज द पब्लिक मनी। और पब्लिक मनी को हमारा काम है कि उस मनी को लेके, इस मनी को आपको जो ज़रूरतमंद है उनको देना, और उस पे जो ऑपरेटिंग कास्ट एंड सम प्रॉफिटेड्स उसको मीट आउट करना। तो उसके लिए उसे परफेक्शन चाहिए, दैट इज कॉल्ड परफेक्शन ऑफ सिक्योरिटी कोलैटरल्स। एसएमई की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है कि हाउ दे विल अरेंज द कोलैटरल्स। कोलैटरल्स में एसएमई को बहुत ज़्यादा घबराने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। हम इसमें यम वर्ड भी जोड़ दे रहे हैं, MSME, माइक्रो स्मॉल मीडियम इंटरप्राइजेज। हम माइक्रो को, इस जो सभा है इस सभा से माइक्रो गायब है। विदाउट माइक्रो यू कैन नॉट सर्वाइव। आपको माइक्रो को साथ लेके चलना पड़ेगा। एसएमई माइक्रो एक उसका कंपोनेंट्स है। माइक्रो हम केवल पान और बीड़ी ये दुकानें ही नहीं है, तमाम आपके आर्टिसंस हैं जो आपके लिए सामान बनाते हैं। तो इसमें जो परफेक्शन ऑफ सिक्योरिटी की बात आती है, आप माइक्रो से स्टार्ट करो। माइक्रो को विदाउट एनी सिक्योरिटी, विदाउट एनी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट डाटा, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने तमाम योजनाएं लागू की। सारे लोगों को यहाँ जो बैठे हैं जानते होंगे, स्वावलंबन स्कीम में स्वनिधि योजनाएं लागू की गई। उससे पहले मुद्रा में 3 स्टेजेज हैं, उसको वो आपके लिए बनाते हैं। आपके फेडरेशन जो है, जो एसएमई फोरम के सालुंके साहब हैं, he is well versed about the SME challenges and how they are going to develop all such things. आपकी बातों को उठाते हैं, उसके सॉल्यूशन देते हैं। इन्होंने बताया MSME 2006 कैसे 15 लाख से 25 लाख, 25 से 50 लाख, 1 करोड़, 1 करोड़ से 2 करोड़ हो गया, और अभी वो 35 से 40 करोड़ की बातें कर रहे हैं जो हम लोगों को नहीं मालूम। तो परफेक्शन ऑफ सिक्योरिटी एंड कोलेट्रल में फर्स्ट थिंग, यदि आप स्मॉल हैं अबाउट 10 लाख अप टू 1 करोड़, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने स्टैंड अप इंडिया आपको प्लान दिया है। लेकिन ये चीज़ें बहुत कम लोगों को मालूम होती हैं, बताया भी नहीं जाता, जबकि डिफरेंट फोरम से ये चीज़ें बार बार अनाउंस की जाती है। यहाँ इंटरप्रेन्योर बैठे हुए हैं, ये पर्टिकुलरली SC ST एंड महिला इंटरप्रेन्योर के लिए है। हमारी बैंक और भी बैंक महिला इंटरप्रेन्योर के लिए 1% का प्राइसिंग इफेक्ट है उनको, बहुत कम लोग शायद जान रहे होंगे। उससे ऊपर आप 1 करोड़ तक जब ये था, इस पे CGT SME कवरेज है। नोबडी इज गोइंग टू आस्क फॉर कोलैटरल, बट यू हैव टू पुट योर स्टेक। अगर आपका स्टेक नहीं होगा तो चीज़ें सही तरीके से आप नहीं चलाओगे, क्योंकि आपकी रुचि नहीं रहेगी। सेम चीज़ बड़े उसमें स्मॉल एंड मीडियम की बात मैं करता हूँ। स्मॉल एंड मीडियम में भी आपको कोलैटरल कहीं ना कहीं आपको देना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि बैंकर्स को ज़रूरत है, बैंकर्स को सिक्योरिटी चाहिए 2 करोड़ से ऊपर के लिए, बट यू हैव टू निगोशिएट। और तमाम योजनाएं ऐसी आ रही हैं जिसमें इसकी भी ज़रूरत नहीं है, हर बैंक की अपनी अपनी योजनाएं हैं। उससे इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ है प्राइसिंग। प्राइसिंग में आपको ध्यान देना पड़ेगा कि जितनी अच्छी आपकी रेटिंग होगी, मैंने पहले महाजनी की बात कहा था आपको, जितनी अच्छी आपकी क्रेडिट रेटिंग होगी उतनी अच्छी प्राइसिंग होगी आपको, और उस प्राइसिंग का बेनिफिट लेने के लिए आपको अपने फाइनेंशियल डाटा को देखना पड़ेगा। फाइनेंशियल जो मोमेंट है आपको उसको देखना पड़ेगा। अगर बड़े जिनके पास 1000-2000 करोड़ की चीज़ें मंथली मैनेजमेंट रिपोर्ट बना सकते हैं, तो हम 5-10 करोड़ वाले क्यों नहीं बना सकते? आपको आगे आना पड़ेगा। यू आर टोटली डिपेंडिंग अपॉन योर अकाउंटेंट एंड अदर पीपल, बट यू आर हैविंग ऑल द नॉलेज टू रन योर इंडस्ट्री। तो मेरा आपसे अनुरोध है कि आप बैंकों से संपर्क करें, फ्री होके करें। नाउ द मार्केट इज बायर्स मार्केट। बैंक वाले के यहाँ जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, आप अपने यहाँ बैंक वाले को बुलाओ। और मेरा अनुरोध जो आपका SME चैम्बर ऑफ इंडिया है या गुजरात का फोरम है, जो भी है, मेरा उनसे अनुरोध है कि आप बैंकर्स को बुलाएं, आउटरीच कराएं, जो रिक्वायर्ड इनको चीज़ें हैं वो करें, और डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म का भरपूर उपयोग करें। जैसा अभी पहले के वक्ताओं ने वो बोला, आप बिल डिस्काउंटिंग में जाएं, जो क्विक आपको मिलता है, बुक डेट्स की मॉनिटरिंग करें, टाइमली क्रेडिट को रीपे करें, आपकी फर्स्ट क्लास क्रेडिट रेटिंग रहेगी और प्राइसिंग का कोई झंझट नहीं होगा। तो मेरा समय समाप्त हो रहा है। समय की पाबंदी के साथ बताना बहुत कुछ है। थैंक यू वेरी मच। मैं यहीं भद्रा में बैठता हूँ। आप सबका स्वागत है, कभी भी आ सकते हैं। खुले हाथ से आपका स्वागत करते हैं। आभार, धन्यवाद।
To invite Mr. Siladitya Chaudhary, Vice President, SBI General Insurance, and his topic is Insurance Products and Services, Advantages and Benefits for SMEs. Can we have a huge round of applause for him?
So a very good afternoon to all the delegates and my colleagues from BFSI, from IT, from manufacturing and other sectors who have come today for this summit. So basically, today I'm going to talk about more on the advantages and the benefits for insuring your units, your risks, we call it in insurance. So how we can educate ourselves, how we can create the awareness that how the insurance thing can protect us against all the untoward events. So, like my previous speakers, they were focusing on the COVID era or post-pandemic era. So with this, we have learned a lot of things. Our learning were kind of, in terms of how we can modify, how we can, provide solutions to the MSMEs particularly, because when we talk about MSMEs, they are the lifeline of our economy. Because MSME के बिना कोई large corporate operate नहीं कर सकता. If you talk about any, say, manufacturer of any car or something like that, without the ancillary units, we cannot even think about this. So that's why what we have done is that we have created certain products, we have modified certain products in insurance so that we can cater to this particular segment of the economy, that is the MSME segment, and that is very important for us. So what I'll do is that I'll just run you past a balance sheet analysis. There are certain items in a balance sheet. I'll just take you through a sample balance sheet where you can see that, what are the items in the balance sheet and what are the insurance products which can cover those items. So normally a sample balance sheet looks like this. We have assets and liabilities. It's just an illustration, just an illustrative balance sheet. So where we have our fixed assets, liabilities, and if we start with the fixed assets, we have protection for any untoward event of fire, flood, earthquake. With the fire insurance, we call it fire insurance, but normally the nomenclature is like that. लोगों को लगता है fire insurance सिर्फ fire से ही protection देता है. So fire insurance protects from fire insurance protects from flood, inundation, and even from the earthquake. And when we, protect an unit or the stocks from fire, from the risk of fire insurance, we also advise to take a burglary insurance because there may be stocks in an unit जहाँ पे fire नहीं हुआ लेकिन burglary हुआ. So what that particular unit will do in case of a burglary event. So that's why this fire and burglary, जैसे गाड़ी और petrol complementary product है, वैसे fire and burglary is also a complementary product. So we always advise, we always suggest that please go for a burglary insurance when you are taking a fire insurance. Not only in case of a building, but in case of stocks where the units are having stocks. So then you all know that vehicles है तो motor insurance लेना ही पड़ेगा. I mean we know it because if we don't have a motor insurance, तो फिर वो signal में पुलिस वाला पकड़ता है and then we have to pay a fine. But most importantly, motor insurance is having an aspect of third-party claim as well. The recent incident that we all know, a very sad incident of Cyrus Mistry. So there is a third-party component in every motor insurance. So now there is a claim on the insurance company and that is huge. So the amount has also been calculated and discussed with the MACT, that is Motor Accident Claim Tribunal. So sometimes in such cases, it can even cross 50, 60 crores. A normal incident, because there are a lot of calculations, lot of, वो उसमें ये होते हैं कि अगर ये इस level तक, ये उम्र तक जिंदा रहते, ये इनका income potential था, so what could have been the claim? So that's why motor insurance is not important only from the perspective कि पुलिस वाले को दिखाना है. It is important because we have to insure the vehicle from any risk of own damage or accident and also from the aspect of third party. बहुत लोगों को शायद ये awareness नहीं है कि जो when the police or RTO checks for the insurance, it is basically done for the third party aspect, whether the third party cover is taken or not. That is the main thing. So that's why this, we all know insurance is a subject, but there are a little bit of lack of awareness. That's why, insurance penetration in our country, in India, is quite low. So that, as an insurance professional, as a responsible citizen of the country, we think that we need to increase that awareness amongst all citizens. So we have a product called marine insurance, which is basically a transit insurance product for any commodities from A point to B point within the country, outside the country. So it can be an import, it can be an export, whatsoever transaction is there. So for that we have a coverage called marine insurance. So in detail I will not go because that will be too much a product session, but just to give you an kind of an update that marine insurance can be covered even a rail, air, ship and road, all these modalities. Whatever may be the modality of the transport, this insurance can be covered for all the modalities of the transports. Then we have trade credit insurance. My colleague from Credlix have already explained it to you. So it is a little bit, almost same thing, but the only thing is that when we talk about export transactions, overseas billing, we talk about ECGC. But think about it, if there is a domestic transaction, somebody is selling, suppose you are in Gujarat, you are in Ahmedabad, and you are selling your manufactured products to somebody, some buyer in your neighboring state, say Madhya Pradesh, say Maharashtra, and there is an outstanding, and which is not paid in due course of time. There is a delay in payment, or there is a default in payment. At the time of, say, you have a 60 दिन का 90 दिन का आपका credit period है, जो you have an agreed credit term with the buyer, and on the due date of payment, you don't get the payment from the buyer. So what you will do? So that point of time, this credit insurance will trigger. If you are covered with this product, it will definitely trigger and it will take the responsibility of settlement of the claim. So the delay, the delay in payment, the deferred payment, and non-payment in case of insolvency, that is also there. Now, so I'm just giving an example. Under credit insurance, we also cover political risk. Now you may ask me, what is political risk? Just giving an example, suppose some country's exporter had taken a credit insurance, say London में कोई exporter है, जो credit insurance जिन्होंने लिया था on a buyer who's situated in India. And in India, demonetization was announced, and there is a restriction in transactions or whatsoever. So that is a risk which is not in control of the buyer who's situated in India. He is supposed to pay back to his exporter who is in London, but cash flow nahi hai unke paas, so he cannot pay back to the exporter in London. So that point of time also, this credit insurance will take care of the claim settlement. So all these things are there. I mean, it's a very vast subject. I mean, insurance itself is a vast subject, and we spend years, but we say that 10-15% ही हमने सीखा, बहुत कुछ बाकी है सीखने के लिए. So this is one of the products that is now the awareness is increasing post-COVID, because we have seen a lot of industries are facing issues in terms of cash flows and all. So now they are taking kind of an support from this credit insurance product, and we are happy to support you. We are happy to help you in case you come to us. You can reach out to us. We have branches across, I mean, all our bank branches are the points where you can contact. We have 22,000 branches pan-India. So you can come any point of time, you can inquire for a product, and our team will contact you. So we also have some off-balance sheet items. Now just to mention here, I started my discussion with this, we have modified certain products based on the requirement of MSMEs. So there is a product called Group Mediclaim Insurance. So in first COVID wave, April 2020, there was a SOP released by Government of India, Ministry of Home Affairs, where it was made mandatory that, the workers of the SME units, the units, should be covered under health insurance. And we have seen there's a missing link. Health insurance के लिए individual तो है ही, plus group में क्या होता है? For large corporates, we used to have health insurance, group health insurance. But for this MSME sectors, where even we have 10 workforce, 10-15 log, वहाँ पे we were not, I mean, market is not offering a group health insurance because that was loss making. But we have designed a product where even with a workforce of 10, we can provide you a group Mediclaim cover with all the benefits that we provide to a group of even 5,000 members. जो 5,000 member के लिए हम coverage देते हैं, वो 10 लोगों के लिए भी दे सकते हैं. And that is what we have, modified, what we have in fact restructured our product post-COVID based on the requirement, particularly for the MSMEs. So you can contact us. Our desk is there outside the gate, and our people are there. I am also available. So you can come to us. We can tell you. And there is no medical checkup required for any of this particular group. We will give you a Mediclaim cover without any medical checkup, irrespective of the age. And the premium is also flat. It does not vary with the age, because if you see a health insurance, normally there's a variation in the premium. So there is nothing like that. So you can contact us. We will provide you further information about this product. So I'll just discuss about some major causes of fire losses in manufacturing industries. We all know this: electrical hazard, storage hazard. I'll show you some examples. You can see this kind of electrical hazard. There's a loose wiring. Sometimes in the panel, we don't have the properly maintained panel, and that actually that is actually a reason in case of fire. So we have to be cautious about this. We have a specialized risk engineering team where we have qualified engineers, and they go and they inspect. They just do a kind of an inspection in the factory, and they provide you certain inputs that how the factory should be maintained to avoid any loss, because कोई नहीं चाहता कि मेरी यूनिट में आग लग जाए, something like that. So we want to avoid this kind of situation. Just showing you some of the examples of storage hazard and electrical hazard. If somebody is doing a hot work near a panel, so obviously it can catch fire. वो cylinder रखा हो उसके आसपास में कहीं कुछ कर रहा है. And we have seen such cases happening. It's not a hypothetical example. It is actually an example. See. In the second picture, gas cylinders near hot work area. Do you think it is, मतलब ये doable, मतलब ये सही कर रहे हैं? But ऐसे होता है. And ऐसे नहीं कि इनको बोला गया कि आप करो हम फोटो लेंगे, ये कर रहे थे, so somebody has taken a picture. So such things we can avoid to avoid the event of loss. So there are multiple examples. We don't need to go into the detail of it. But yes, we have a series of plenty of value-added services that we provide free of cost to all our units. You can come to us, we can provide you these services which will actually help you to, we do an electrical audit. Just I want to mention electrical audit. Electrical audit हम लोग करते हैं, हमारी team है, and उसमें हम आपको बताते हैं कि कहाँ पे you can save your energy cost, your electric bills, and it actually helps to, maintain your bottom line, profitability. So such things are there with us, and we have our in-house team for it. SBI being the largest lender of SME in India, we have a huge kind of workforce at the ground level, and we have a specialized SME vertical in SBI General Insurance to cater to all the SME units. So you can anytime you can come back to us, you can reach out to us, and we are there to support you always. So there are some points why SBI General Insurance, because I told you that we have a trained workforce, and most of our team members who are in SME sales are qualified engineers, because a unit has to be understand properly कि इनका manufacturing कैसे होता है, electrical panels कैसे, machineries कैसे हैं. So for that we have qualified team to provide you proper guidelines, to provide you proper, the coverage, because there are certain coverages which may not be required by you. So particularly for that reason, we have a specialized team, and we are always present. So just to end my session, I would like to request that insurance is something where we need awareness to be created amongst the society. Insurance is not just a matter of solicitation, it is actually a matter of solution to us. So thank you so much for attending the session, and thank you SME Chamber of India. It is like a link between the SMEs and the service providers to SMEs. So once again, thank you so much for attending, and thank you Salunke ji and Mahesh ji for inviting us. Thank you.
Trust world. Trust is the first step in a relationship. Trust makes bonds grow stronger. Trust is peace of mind. Trust grows into happiness when it partners with protection. So what does it take to be trusted by an entire country? What does it take to be trusted today, tomorrow, and forever? What does it take to bring trust and protection together? A decade of living our values, transparency, empathy, agility, motivation, and dedicated service. At SBI General Insurance, these values have helped us grow from strength to strength, propelling us to do the new, driving us on a path never taken before. Today, we are powered by a new positioning, a new identity, and whole new momentum. Today, crores of customers trust us to protect what matters most to them. Today, we are poised to catapult ourselves to never-before heights. We are SBI General Insurance. Suraksha और भरोसा दोनों.
थैंक यू शीला जीता जी. लंच ब्रेक के लिए अभी और 3 स्पीकर बाकी है. मेरी आप सबसे गुजारिश रहेगी कि आप थोड़ा सा सब्र कर लीजिए. एक 20 मिनट के बाद हम लोग लंच चालू कर देंगे. तब तक अपने 3 स्पीकर्स को आप सुनिए. आफ्टरनून में भी अपने पास बहुत अच्छे प्लानरी सेशन है हमारा. So without wasting time, I'll invite Mr. Pinakin Simaria, National Acquisition Manager SME, Kotak Mahindra Bank. Thank you.
Good afternoon. You've been a peaceful audience so far, so we'll keep it plain and simple, not take much of your time. Respected Salunke ji, respected KT Patel Saab, thank you so much for the opportunity. At the outset, I would like to congratulate SME Chamber of India for organizing such a superb event. I have been working with MSME for last 17 years, dealing very closely on the lending side, solution side, and I can tell you that there has been no better time for MSME than what we are witnessing currently. Just look at this platform. You've got technology partners sitting here. You've got new age company like Credit wanting to fund your exports. You've got old public sector banks so much enthused to take part in the growth story, and you've got private sector bank like ours, wherein obviously we are keen to make that difference to your businesses. So thank you so much for the opportunity. I'll just quickly take you through what Kotak is. We started in 1985, a known name, and no better example than how a small company can become medium, how a medium can become large, and how a large can become a finance conglomerate of India, catering to more than 3 crore customers today in India. And how did the bank start in 1985? It started with an idea of something which is called a bill discounting. And bill discounting predominantly in early 1980s appealed to the SME kind of businesses. The loans were costlier at that point of time, and that is where our chairman and MD got this idea of funding small and medium enterprises relatively cheaper than the market, and that's where the inception of Kotak Mahindra Bank became. So right from 1985, it has been a long journey for us, and today we are one of the most comprehensive company across multiple facets of banking, be it investment, be it lending, be it personal finance, we are across it. And one point I would like to highlight in this entire time journey is 2017. We all know, November 8th, wherein demonetization came in, and post which we launched our product called 811. It is one of the most successful digital product on the liability side, and today a lot of acquisition that we do across the bank happens on the 811. And since then, we have embarked upon this entire journey to make the difference a lot on the digital side, right spanning it across to 2019, 20, 22. And in last 2 years, we have got two of our most successful product, which I'll take you through. One is Kotak Fin, and other is Cherry. So we'll touch base upon both the things. But this has been our journey, and we do continue to stand by the commitments that we have made to a lot of our MSME customers.
जिंदगी के सफर में लोग कदम कदम पे हमें जज करते हैं। ये अतरंगी, ये क्या एक्टिंग करेगा? अब इसी नाप तोल के चक्कर में कई दरवाजे खुलने से पहले ही बंद हो जाते हैं। मैडम, सिंगल लेडीज को मैं किराएदार रखूंगा तो सोसाइटी मुझे रेड लाइट दिखा देगी। You know, we'd love to hire you, but we feel it'll make our customers a bit uncomfortable. शादी और इससे अंधी हो क्या? अफसोस कि लोग ये जांचते हैं कि आपका सर किसके सामने झुकता है, आप कहां से आए हैं, किस खानदान से हैं, कमाते कितना है। काश जिंदगी में सब इस बेंच की तरह होते हैं, सबके लिए एक समान। ये बैठने वाले से उसकी उम्र, जात, पात, औकात, रंग, रूप, वेश, भाषा कुछ नहीं पूछती। बिल्कुल कोटक 811 की तरह ये भी आपसे कुछ नहीं पूछता, बस एक सवाल पूछता है कि आप इंडियन हैं, और अगर आप हैं तो आपका स्वागत है।
So this has been a path-breaking product, that we obviously devised, launched, and currently a lot of MSME customers and the corporate salary accounts that we open across our small and medium enterprises do make use of it. We are present across entire, value chain. Obviously, we'll not go into the depth of it, but predominantly we cater to wholesale, commercial, consumer banking, and all the financial services. SME is at the base of it. The entire edifice, when the bank was built, which I told you from a bill discounting, do focus on SME customers. And we believe that we have many solutions which are very peculiar to SMEs, and we also believe that we have a strong standing here. Within our corporate banking platform, so today when you talk about SME, and obviously the subject that I'm touching base upon is not predominantly confined to lending. Obviously lending is important, getting faster loans, turnaround time, as one of our speakers spoke about. Everything is critical, collateral security, better pricing. but it is gamut of things. It's not just about lending anymore. It is about your cash management, it is about your supply chain, it is about your employees, it is about the insurance requirements that you have it. We do believe that we have fulcrum of products which caters to multiple pieces and multiple products across it. What we specifically do under SMEs, obviously we lend, we provide you cash management, we provide you, payment solutions, we provide you collection solutions, we provide you bill discountings. And what do we embark upon? We embark upon faster TEDs. We do believe that turnaround time is important, like every other banker friend on the floor has said. Up to 15 crores and extending to 20 crores starting from next month, we have got a parameterized lending product for MSME, wherein we do say that if there are 7 eligibility criteria, if you tick those 7 eligibility criteria, you can get a sanction from us flat in 7 working days. Again, it is first of its kind in the market. We have seen initial successes, and we would want to replicate it across length and breadth. So that parameterized lending product is going to be a key product basis which our SME strategy would hinge upon, and we benefit to a lot of customers that we interact with Kotak. Workflow automation, digital is spoken about a lot post-COVID. A lot of fintechs are working on it. We do believe we have a strong stand here. Our cash management solutions, our supply chain solutions, our trade portal, our FX portal, practically everything is online. Today's day and age, COVID has definitely taught us that things are unpredictable. We do have branches. We welcome all of you. But our source is saying that everything sitting at your office, just on a click of a laptop, you should be able to do banking with. So that's what has been our journey, and we have been reasonably successful doing it. Again, within lending solution, as I said, working capital, term loans, structured finance, trade finance, we are there. We do it almost every day. Today, at SME level, we serve more than 18,000 customers. On the portfolio asset side, we are almost touching now 90,000 crores of lending that we have done. And we do believe that we have a very happy set of customers that we cater to and that we serve upon. Payment product, I did touch base upon the broad parameter of it, but today payment solutions are becoming more important than never before. A lot of work is happening around it. A lot of built-in engines, a lot of artificial intelligence is built around it. We do provide multiple solutions that can make your decision-making easier. Our relationship manager, our SME team members can reach out to you based on your need. You can express your requirements. They will devise solutions, they will devise products, they will devise MISs, which can help you do your businesses far better, far effective, far more effective way that they can deal upon. Within our collection products, e-collections is something that we work upon, mandate-based, WhatsApp BOTs, BPPS. See, most of this product, for a better part, were predominantly catered to the larger corporates because one felt that those were the corporates which needed these set of products, and banks also did focus a lot of their energies into catering to it. Last 10 years has seen a sea change about it. The way the companies are growing, the way the SME definitions have changed, the way the turnover criteria have gone up. I think so this is a sweet spot for most of the banks. As I said that today in this platform, you have got 8-10 representatives from various companies whose one-minded focus is to go ahead and give the best-in-class services to MSMEs. So as I said when I started is that in my 17 years, I don't see any better time for an MSME that I see today from an ecosystem perspective. Now you talk about digital, you talk about banking, you talk about lending solutions, it is all there. It is just that one will have to take a step, select a suitable partner, and make it count the most. This is something I would like to spend some time on. So FIN is a comprehensive trade portal that we have just launched in April. FIN stands for your needs, as per your needs. There's a lot of discussion in and around in the first session on the export market that SME needs to develop, be it Morbi, be it brass part, which imports a lot of copper, be it diamonds in Surat, be it chemical in Ankleshwar, Ahmedabad, people are talking about exports. The general belief is that if you would want to grow faster, obviously you would cater to your domestic market, which will give you a lot of dividends, but export is something that you need to work upon and do it. We felt this need to set this platform up to see to it that everything on export and import side happens on FIN. So today, whether it's your export receivable, your import payments, your BRCs. So all exporters would know that it often gets a little complicated. You need to send your person to the bank. Bankers would say so many documents are missing. We give you everything on a single platform. Fin has been the best-in-class solution that has been there across banks. We do believe that for anything within the broader gamut of exports and imports, you can do at a click. You can draw your MISs, you can draw your, reports that you need, you can have your audit trail, you can set your reminders up when you need to make the payments, you can select your exchange rates. A lot of discussion that my MSME customer has it with me in terms of ki margin zyada lete ho, margin kam lete ho. We fix it and we leave it up to you. We agree on a commission, we agree on a spread, that's there in the system, you be your boss and you do it. A lot of things that happens on the maker checker, there is no risk, and we do believe that this is a strong, strong proposition that we have. So if I were to quickly summarize, much before my time, one thing I can tell you that we are there for MSMEs. We do have technology. We do have inclination and understanding of being SME right from the roots of Kotak. All of you can maximize that pitch that we have, reach out to us. We in turn do participate in so many such events, and we can be your partners. So all out for MSME. Let's make a quick shout. And before I end up, I would just want to show a couple of customer feedbacks that we've received on the Fin side. That should definitely impress a lot of friends that are here on the MSME side. So one of these clicks that I would want to show you, and then probably I would want to end my address. Yeah, got it.
Good day, everyone. I'm happy to represent ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India Limited. As the company grows, it looks for a lot of technology solutions which can help it in its growth. So what are the type of technology solutions? We look for banking assistance where it makes the transactions more automatic, more digital, and paperless, and errorless. So these are the features which we look for a product. And we were looking for such trade portals. We have been using some from different banks, but Kotak came up with this trade portal recently. Kotak has come with a very nice product which not only helps you to do digital and paperless transactions through the trade portal for LCs, but also stores the data, captures it, and keeps it for your next time when you open a LC for the same beneficiary. So it gives a lot of additional and new features which help us in our journey while we grow forward for doing more trade transactions. So we look to grow along with Kotak, use their banking technology and frontier solutions, and it resonates with what we are looking for in ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel. Thanks for this opportunity, Kotak, and we look to build many more solutions together in the future. Thank you.
So this is one of the SME customers that you may relate more with it.
So overall, we've been using the Kotak Trade Portal. So just to give you a background, we are based in a industrial area. We are a little away from Ahmedabad. For us, every day there used to be a task wherein someone from our office used to travel 30 kilometers just to give papers to the Kotak head office. And since we've been doing everything online, the trade portal we started using, the number of visits of our office boys to Kotak Bank is reduced by 1/10. So now all of those things are being done online. So we've been I think one of the first users of Kotak's corporate app, that is the digital signer, that has also helped us in going paperless. So in times of COVID, when we all were working from home, I think the paperless mode of operations with Kotak and the whole NetID portal really helped us. So that has saved our cost. We spend a lot lesser on our stationery, a lot lesser on the coordination effort for our office boys. So that all has been possible with it. And we haven't had a downtime, we haven't had any single bad experience wherein we could not do it online and we had to go offline. So it has been quite seamless, quite user-friendly. So our entire finance, accounts and treasury team uses it comfortably and very happy with that.
Great. So thank you so very much. We have a stall here. My team is there. You can engage. Thank you so much and a lot of power to SME. Let's rock, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. अब मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी मिस्टर भूमित पटेल, चैनल मैनेजर एंड रीजनल आईसी आदित्य बिरला सन म्यूचुअल फंड. उनका टॉपिक है एक्सप्लोरिंग इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज इन म्यूचुअल फंड्स. कैन वी हैव ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर हिम?
Thank you. કેમ છો ગુજરાત? મજામાં? જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. So, આપણે બી ગુજરાતીમાં જ વધારે ફાવશે, but for the benefit of all, I'll try to make it in Hindi and English both. So, let us start with the overall industry where we have reached. So, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, when he inaugurated GIFT City, he gave an address and he appreciated how well the mutual fund industry has grown. So how well it has grown, basically. So we started with, again, modest start, and we have reached at 38 lakh crores. Our size of the BSE stock exchange is 285 trillion. Our mutual fund industry is at 38 lakh crores. Now, I'm not going to compare our economy with the US and other developed markets. So, a single stock valuation there is at 38 lakh crores, more than 38, 140 lakh crores. So, we are just at a very nascent stage. Abhi just शुरुआत की है हम लोगों ने. And just to put it in perspective, we have compared it with the bank deposit. Why we have done compared it with the bank deposits? Because traditionally, અહીંયા ઘણા આપણા વડીલો છે. When I started into mutual fund industry, people didn't know. I started in 2007, by the way, and people didn't know how to speak mutual funds. They didn't know how to speak mutual fund, let alone why they should invest into mutual funds. So that is how I started my journey, and we have grown, but 154 lakh crores of bank fixed deposits. So I'm going to be little, it's a competitive product. People think that it's a competitive product with the banks, but this is just to put it into perspective that where our money is lying. Our money is lying into 154 lakh crores bank deposits, and our industry is at 38 lakh crores. 38 lakh crores, that too, usme se almost 15.5 lakh crores is Mumbai. 15.5 lakh crores is Mumbai. We are at the 4th rank. Gujarat, in terms of asset under management into mutual funds, we are at 4th rank. But into equities, mutual fund નું જ્યારે presentation આવે ને, અમે ઘણી બધી જગ્યાએ કરીએ, તો mutual fund નું જ્યારે presentation આવે ને, તો કે સાહેબ stock આપશો ને એમ કે. That is the culture. That is what Gujarat is all about. We know, and that is reflected into AUM. So our total size of mutual fund industry in Gujarat is 2.5 lakh crores. And within 2.5 lakh crores, 1.5 lakh crores is equity AUM. So we are at 60% equity AUM. And in Maharashtra, because that's Bombay over there, 15.5 lakh crores of AUM over there, and equity is 5.5 lakh crores. So total percentage of the AUM in equity is just 30%, and we are here at 60%. So in terms of equity AUM, Gujarat is ranked second in all over India. So kudos to all of you, kudos to all who have invested into equities. So અહીંયા કેવું છે? Yes, thank you very much. There was one excitement over there. So, but you know, excitement, equity ની વાત કરીએ, stock ની વાત કરીએ ને, એટલે excitement automatic જ આવે. અંદર હોય, ઘણી જગ્યાએ કોઈ વ્યક્ત કરે, ઘણી જગ્યાએ કોઈ વ્યક્ત ના કરે. So there is excitement, obviously. But I'm going to be little talking over debt funds over here. So Gujarat debt industry, in terms of fixed income, 9 lakh crores is lying in the bank deposits, and only 95,000 crores is into debt mutual funds. So in comparison to the fixed deposits, it's just at 10%. So what is happening over here? So in terms, we have grown, industry has also grown over a period of time. We started at 3 lakh crores. We were at 3 lakh crores in 2010, and now mutual fund industry is at 35 lakh crores, 38 lakh crores. So we have grown over there, but what is missing? So all over India, the equity AUM stands at 11 lakh crores. Within 38 lakh crores, equity AUM is only at 11 lakh crores. Majorities of the money is lying in fixed income, in a sense, debt instrument. So why people park the money into debt instruments? આ બધું presentation થોડું modify કરવું પડે. Generally, when we try to do presentations, we try to get people into equities, because people want to create wealth. We generally want to create wealth, but people over here are SMEs. They have already started and they have already created some amount of wealth, and they want to protect wealth, and we want to give solutions. We don't want to be perceived as only people, mutual fund નું નામ પડે એટલે આમાં risk છે. Risk વગરની બી product છે આપણી પાસે. Those are debt mutual funds. So we'll be talking about debt mutual funds and what is the cost of money lying idle in the bank accounts. So current account you're getting 0. You might be using current accounts for your daily transactions, so current accounts you are getting 0. And in savings account, you will be getting around 3.5% of interest. So we have products wherein you can park your money even for 1 day. For 1 day, you'll park your money and you'll get interest on that 1 day. And again, if you want to park more for some more amount of days, we have liquid funds over there. So we have 1 night, 1 day parking, overnight funds, and for 1 week, 10 days, 15 days, 30 days parking, we have liquid funds. And you can see what is the cost of money lying in the bank account. So for 1 day, if the money, if you have 1 crore and it keeps on staying invested, it is lying in the current account or it is lying in the bank account. So if it is lying in the current account, you will be missing on 1200 rupees. 1230 rupees per day. You will be making losses. So it's not an actual loss, but it's an opportunity loss. So you'll be making 1250 rupees, 1230 rupees for 1 day. And now imagine there are 116 idle days. So Sundays, Saturdays, public holidays. So what is the amount of losses, notional losses that you're doing? So this is how you can have your money lying in the current account. जो पैसा पड़ा है, उसको आप पार कर सकते हैं इसमें liquid funds, overnight funds में. And one more thing which I wanted to talk about is real interest rates. So real interest rate is what? Whatever the rates you are getting on your investments, and what is the inflation. So currently, all over the world, global economy is struggling with inflation. तो पूरे ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी में इन्फ्लेशन है, अपने यहाँ पे भी कंट्री में इन्फ्लेशन है. आरबीआई ने बोला अपना बैंड है इन्फ्लेशन से, वी आर स्लाइटली अबाउट द बैंड ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन. बट व्हाट यू आर गेटिंग इन द फिक्स्ड डिपॉजिट्स is less than the inflation. So in the sense, you are not, you think your money is safe when you are lying, it is lying in the bank account, but actually it is eroding. The value of the money is getting eroded day by day because inflation. जो महंगाई है, वो आपको ऐसा लगता है कि मेरा पैसा सेफ हो गया, लेकिन महंगाई की वजह से जो कॉस्ट आप जो चीज़ें लेने जा रहे हैं, उसकी वैल्यू बढ़ गई, तो इनडायरेक्टली आपका जो मनी है, उसकी वैल्यू कम हो गई. So this is what is driving overall. हम जो અહીંયા વડીલો છે પહેલા કેવું ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ પ્રોફેશનલ્સની જરૂર નહીં પડતી હતી. કેમ? મારા પપ્પાને પૂછીએ તો મારા પપ્પા એવું કહેતા કે ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ પ્રોફેશનલ એટલે શું, કરવાનું શું હોય. ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટમાં કશું ના હોય, બેંકમાં ફિક્સ ડિપોઝિટ કરવાની, LICની પોલિસી લેવાની, થોડા ઘણા સ્ટોક લેવાના, પતી ગયું. ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટનું કંઈ કામ જ નથી. બટ જો વડીલ છે એ લોકોને ખબર છે what were the interest rates back 15 years back or 20 years back. What were the interest rates? And what are the interest rate now? So huge amount of difference. And what was the inflation at that point of time? 20 years back, એ વખતે રોટી કપડા મકાન હતું, અને અત્યારે તો કેવું છે કે જિંદગી ના મિલેગી દોબારા છે. તો people want to consume and they want to do expenses, faster financialization with the banks. ઘણી બધી જગ્યાએ financialization, you have loan for everything. So age amount of saving the techniques and our amount of saving the techniques. That is why mutual fund industry is going leaps and bounds, because people know that what was the inflation that point of time, now the costs are increasing. So equity mutual funds અને જ્યાં બી આપણા પૈસા બચતા હોય કે થોડા પૈસા મળતા હોય, so we have across the funds we have that ladder, starting with 1 day parking of the money, 30 days parking of the money, 3 months parking of the money, maybe probably 6 months parking of the money. We have funds across the ladder, and we can provide you, our team is there, we can provide you solutions over there. And what is the quality of the portfolio? We have ready right now with us how much amount of days is your requirement, and we can suggest you funds over there, what kind of funds you can get. At the point of taxation also, debt funds present an attractive opportunity, because મ્યુચ્યુઅલ ફંડ ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ્સ આર સબ્જેક્ટ ટુ માર્કેટ રિસ્ક. એ બધા ક્લેવેટ એમ્ટર છે, તમને બધાએ સાંભળ્યું હશે. જ્યારે બી મ્યુચ્યુઅલ ફંડની સચિન તેંડુલકરની એડ આવે એટલે પછી છે ને નીચે કહી દે મ્યુચ્યુઅલ ફંડ ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ સબ્જેક્ટ ટુ માર્કેટ રીડ, read the offer documents carefully before investing. So debt mutual funds, it is considered as fixed income, but the income is not guaranteed over there. So what we are trying to do is, since the income is not guaranteed, you get the benefit of taxation in the terms of indexation. So with indexation benefit, you come out, there is a flat taxation on traditional savings instrument, and we get an indexation benefit over here. So post-tax, the returns comes out to be very well. And we have actively managed funds. We have a lot of equity funds, we have around 62 funds. So I'm not going to speak over there on all funds. But Aditya Birla Sun Life, talking a few words on Aditya Birla Sun Life, we are, as a Birla Group, we are 150 years old brand. And Aditya Birla Sun Life was established in 1994. So we have completed 27 years of existence. And we have presence across 280 plus locations. In Gujarat also we have presence across 18 locations. All major locations we have presence. And our senior management team, Mr. Bala sir, who is with us from 1994. So he has also completed 27 years with the company. He's also the chairman and one of the founding chairman of MP. And we have done a lot of initiatives in terms of investor education and awareness among common people for getting into mutual fund investments. So time is up. I wanted to speak a little more, but my time is up. So for more details, we have a stall over here. I have my team, 2-3 people. I will also be there. You can definitely contact us for more investment options. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
An AV for Expo Terminal. Can we have the AV, please?
In this era of digitalization, is your export limited to one region? Are you visiting costly international exhibitions to grow your exports, or spending huge money on paid membership on other B2B portals? Get ready to take your business across 50 plus countries without having a physical presence or a local business associate in those countries. Save your hard-earned money and precious time. Welcome to www.exportterminal.com, your gateway to the magnificent world of digital export. It is exclusively created to promote the Indian B2B trade globally. Showcase your products and promote them worldwide through a single portal. It is born with a vision to provide end-to-end business solutions through cutting-edge technology and produce quicker, more reliable and efficient results. A truly universal digital platform for all types of manufacturers, small, medium and big, by promoting Make in India products and increasing the reach of manufacturers across the world. To be a one-stop solution provider for international buyers and create an amazing sourcing experience for them from the comfort of their office. The benefits of export terminals should be accessible from every country on the planet. To develop a huge community of successful buyers and sellers and create a plethora of their success stories generated on our platform. It is inspired by the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. This highly advanced and globally connected B2B portal is going to revolutionize Indian exports. Benefits for you. Free of cost registration. Truly global exposure without incurring any cost, which can land a host of genuine buyers of your products. Multidimensional and exponential business growth. Indirect representation of your products in international exhibitions through our portal. Free consultation on availing IEC, that is Import-Export Code, and related licenses. The entire export procedures, including domestic and international freight and custom clearance, will be handled by our team of experts. Hassle-free international trade. Access to the exclusive sellers dashboard with multiple benefits. Join us if you are from any of the following segments: agro commodities, food and beverages, disposables, textiles and garments, footwear, beauty and cosmetics, health and personal care, marble and ceramics, hotel and household supplies, Ayurvedic and herbal products, bags and luggage, fashion accessories, home decor, handloom and handicraft, school, office and stationery. So, what are you waiting for? Get on board today to make your business truly global. Go with Export Terminal, a comprehensive and innovative B2B platform where you can expect broad spectrum export solutions, an array of quality products and services to choose from, ease of navigation through refined search tools to create a sophisticated digital experience, more productivity with complete peace of mind, entire export process supply chain management handled by the experts. ExportTerminal.com is powered by Provera, an established export corporation. It is professionally managed by industry stalwarts. Get ready to log in and quote the best price for your products, because that will help you unlock more markets for you. To know more, get in touch with our representative. Call us on or send a hi on WhatsApp number this. Coming soon.
So let me give you a brief of Expo Terminal. Expo Terminal is an e-commerce platform that is committed to revolutionizing the way international trade works. Expo Terminal is taking digital exports to a whole new level. As we all are aware that global geopolitical turmoil has affected the supply chain severely, it is imperative that we, India, as a nation, should come forward to restore the supply chain as well as strengthen it. Expo Terminal is our solution to this situation. Expo Terminal will provide end-to-end business solution for business across the globe through cutting edges, technology, and smoother, quicker, and more reliable outcomes when it comes to international trade. Expo Terminal is completely dedicated to all Make in India initiative, as it is exclusive for Indian manufacturers with Atithi Devo Bhava and trust as its core value. India has shown remarkable growth in exports that touched an all-time high of USD 669.65 billion. Sectors like merchandise, agro-commodities, and services have grown substantially. You, being a prominent manufacturer of quality products, can be a great contributor to this growth story of our country. Let's scale newer heights together. A sublime ecosystem for international trade awaits. What are you waiting for? For your convenience, we have placed a registration desk. It would be a matter of privilege to help you through the registration process. Thank you so much. Moving on, I would like to invite Dr. Subhadha M. Rao, founder Quantico Research and former SP, Group President and Chief Economist, Yes Bank Limited. Her topic is opportunities and risk in a volatile macroeconomic environment. Can we have a huge round of applause for her?
The last man standing, the last woman standing. Good morning, केम छो? थोड़े जोर से, भूमित ने पूछा तो आवाज नहीं आई. केम छो? Perfect. So, મને ગુજરાતી નથી આવડતું, થોડું બધું નથી. So I'm going to be speaking in English. Definitely most comfortable channel for me to speak. And the good news, I'm not going to be talking alongside the 30-slide presentation. Otherwise, jamva mate to forget. हम यहाँ टी डिनर करते रहेंगे. तो मैं presentation को share ना करते, of course, I'm going to be getting inspired from what I have prepared in the presentation, but I'm going to be talking to you extempore, right? So here we go. Everyone says economics is more of gyanbazi, you know? Everyone says, oh, it's just too much of overload of knowledge. Isme mujhe kya hai? You know, what is in it for me that you say growth ऐसी होगी, interest rates ऐसे होंगे, रुपी यहाँ जाएगा, रुपी गिरेगा, रुपी घटेगा, इसमें मुझे क्या? In fact, इसमें सब कुछ मुझे ही है, because businesses do not happen in vacuum. Businesses happen in a very, very dynamic macroeconomic environment, domestic and global both. More so global in the current context. Over the last many years, 30 years, India has actually been increasingly globally integrated, and this is just, I promise, just one slide maybe I'll be showing. This is the one. Where were we in 1992? The 15th ranked economy. Where are we today? We are the 5th. And the pace at which we are growing, by another 2 to 3 years, we are definitely going to be a 4th largest economy as measured by GDP. Sakal Gharelu Utpad is what it is called in Hindi, but I'll restrict myself to sticking to English. GDP, that is the entire measurement of economic activity that happens in the country. So the rapid pace at which India has been growing has been extremely impressive, and that has stood in good stead for India, because 2020s ke aate hi, we have seen many black swan events. COVID struck us at the start of 2020. 2 years we were struggling, not just we. When I say we, it is globally. We were all struggling with coping with COVID, lockdowns, complete destruction of economic activity, zero trade, supply disruptions, inflation as a result of which, monetary policies in confused mind, Reserve Bank of India, Federal Reserve, everyone struggling across the globe, ki how much should I cut rates, how much money should I print? If I print too much money, inflation will flare up. And true enough, US Federal Reserve started printing money right since global financial crisis, hasn't stopped much in the interim printing money, as a result of which हमने US में inflation कहाँ देखा है? उनका mandate है 2%. US में inflation touched a high of 9%, 7% above the mandate. Obviously, the Federal Reserve had to respond to it. तो growth तो घटने वाली थी ही because of COVID and its spillovers, but inflation was a bigger problem. Why is it a bigger problem? Because it is an inequitable tax on the poor. And that is the reason all the central banks across the world focus predominantly on inflation management, क्योंकि जब तक महंगाई दर कम नहीं होती, सभी लोगों को, सभी स्तर के लोगों को ज़्यादा कठिनाइयाँ भुगतनी पड़ती हैं, and that is why the focus is on inflation. So true enough, 2020 started with a lot of global shocks. Started with COVID, 2020 was bad, 21 was bad. Come 22, as if things were not bad enough, we had Russia invading Ukraine. What did it do? Inflation जो हमारे supply shocks में था, जो China से production नहीं हो रहा था, supply bottlenecks हो गए थे, that translated to also food inflation, क्योंकि Russia or Ukraine export a lot of food. So we saw food inflation. So food and fuel inflation resulted in 30 years, 40 years record of inflation being broken globally. India was relatively better placed. And for this, bear with me, one more slide that I'm going to show you is this. This is a very telling slide that while the global economy is dealing with shocks, India is far more resilient than we give ourselves credit for. हमको रोना धोना ज़्यादा पसंद है, सब खराब है, कुछ नहीं चल रहा है, कुछ सरकार नहीं कर रही है, RBI कुछ नहीं कर रहा है. But hello, I think RBI did very well in not overextending and overstimulating the economy, क्योंकि अगर बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा डालते तो महंगाई और भी बढ़ जाती, जो 7% के आसपास चली थी. ऑलमोस्ट 7.79 तक टच किया था, वो शायद 10% चली जाती अगर बहुत ज़्यादा पैसे सिस्टम में डाले जाते तो। तब हम बहुत रोए, सभी रोए कि अरे कुछ नहीं कर रही है सरकार। लेकिन अगर हम आज देखें 2 साल पहले की जो एक्शन, I think we will thank that RBI did not overstimulate the economy. Otherwise, we would have been dealing with a very high inflation. So, coming to this chart, if you look at, इसे कहते हैं economic uncertainty index. Higher the index, higher the uncertainty. आप जो left वाला chart देखेंगे, 2015 तक India uncertainty and global uncertainty were almost in tandem, in consonance. The breakaway happened in 2015, 2016, thanks to the new government at the center, with greater majority, greater decisiveness, greater conviction to carry out policies in a more emphatic manner. And since then, you have seen decoupling, unhinged. इंडिया का देखिए डार्क ब्लू है अनसर्टेनिटी जो नीचे है, और जो लाइट ब्लू है वो ग्लोबल अनसर्टेनिटी है, वो काफ़ी स्तर तक हाई है। और कोविड टाइम्स और रशिया वॉर टाइम के बाद कंटिन्यूस, इंडिया हैज़ मैनेज फार बेटर एज कंपेयर टू ग्लोबल। इफ यू लुक एट द राइट हैंड साइड ऑफ द चार्ट, आप देखेंगे कि इंडिया इज सीन द लीस्ट रिस्क as far as policy uncertainty is concerned. Yani, there is greater predictability and continuity in policy environment. And this is where we believe that India will still be, of course, I do not want to go into the, kind of a situation where we start patting ourselves back unduly, bahut jaldi, we are doing exceedingly well. No, we can do far better. For India, a 6% growth is not good enough because it is not a job-inducing growth. For India, growth needs to be somewhere close to 7.5% so that employment rises. We are able to absorb the large available pool of labor force that joins us every year. Remember, India has great demographics. In fact, if I can say so, 10 years down the line, the world will start importing India labor, because unki jo demographics hain, those would be aging. It would be an aging population everywhere, including China, by the way. Most of the regions and countries are going to see the old age population exceed far more than the working age population. India is going to have working age population right till 2040 as a larger share of the total population. So I make a prediction that if we focus on skill enhancement in India to cater to not just domestic interests, but also to the global economy, India would soon be seeing a fair degree of export of our labor force also, by the sheer demand from across India and from offshore. So that is one prediction I make. Now, when we talk of macroeconomics, हम क्या देखते हैं, हम क्यों पढ़ते हैं economics? जैसे मैंने पहले कहा, we do not do business in vacuum. हमको जानना ज़रूरी है कि हमारी ग्रोथ कहाँ से आ रही है, हमारी डोमेस्टिक 1.4 बिलियन पीपल से आ रही है, या एक्सपोर्ट्स हमारे लिए उतने ही इंपॉर्टेंट? आर एक्सपोर्ट्स इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर इंडिया? ऑफ कोर्स एक्सपोर्ट्स आर इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट, ऑल्दो दे मे नॉट बी एज हाई इन द शेयर ऑफ कंट्रीब्यूशन टू ग्रोथ फॉर इंडिया, बट अगर हम इंक्रीमेंटली देखें, साल के ऊपर साल देखें, तो exports have become more and more critical to drive incremental growth in India. And that is why we need to focus as much on exports as we do on the domestic demand, जो कि हमारी 1.4 जनता डिमांड करेगी ही। हम ये भी पढ़ते हैं कि अगर हम एक्सपोर्ट करना चाहेंगे तो इन इकोनॉमिक्स वी वुड ऑल्सो नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर रिसेशन आने वाला है, इफ यूएस इज रेजिंग रेट्स, every policy, mind you, since last year almost, we have seen most of the developed central banks, be it led by US Federal Reserve, we are not seeing hikes of 25 basis points. हम देख रहे हैं jumbo hikes, 50 basis, 75 basis, and possibly 4 दिन के बाद there would be most likely another 75 basis point hike executed by the US Federal Reserve. Why is it? जैसे मैंने कहा, inflation is running far higher than the mandate that they should be serving to achieve inflation at 2%. India का जो band है, वो for any developing economy, there are many supply shocks, disruptions होते हैं. It's an imperfect market. So India, in a monetary policy framework, ने कहा कि हमारा inflation 4% होना चाहिए, plus minus 2. बहुत अच्छे conditions में 2% होगा और कठिनाइयों के साथ 6% होगा. So the tolerance band of inflation was kept between 2 and 6, and the central tendency that India would want to work with is 4% inflation. जाहिर है कि we are importing inflation. Crude oil prices हमारे इतने बढ़ गए, जैसे मैंने कहा कि supply shocks थे, war है, there is a lot of global disruption happening around, supplies are tight, at least until recently the demand was high compared to the supply. Can you tell me where is Brent now? 90 है या 120 है? Can anybody tell me? जो हम import करते हैं crude oil price, which is Brent, 120 or 90? Good morning, it is 90, okay? So, you have seen, why has it gone to 90? क्यों गया है? Do you know? Why? Because of the COVID shocks, soon followed by high interest rates, demand risk is getting very high. Most of the developed economies are now looking at recession. Recession आया नहीं है, but it's at a doorstep. And it will be led by Eurozone. Eurozone economy is in dire straits. When I say dire straits, because they have energy shock. Most of the energy, the natural gas, they used to import from Russia, which is going to be the Nord, जो आपने सुना होगा, newspapers में पढ़ा होगा, जो Nord Stream pipeline है, ostensibly was shut for maintenance, but obviously there were political agenda to it. So gas supply, energy supplies are low. Europe is going through a severe issue of shock as far as funding their growth, fueling their growth, looking at the demand drivers for growth. So Eurozone is going to be the first region to head into recession. उनको interest rates जल्दी बढ़ाने पड़े. Federal Reserve started to raise rates, but Eurozone followed a bit later, but then they have to play a catch-up game because Eurozone का inflation US से भी ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है. 10% हो गया, UK में हो गया है, Eurozone में 9.5%. So all in all, inflation pressures are causing havoc. क्यों इन्फ्लेशन ज़्यादा है? क्योंकि अगर महंगाई बढ़ गई तो हम सबसे पहले फूड और फ्यूल एसेंशियल आइटम्स पे खर्चे करेंगे, जो बाकी डिस्क्रिशनरी डिमांड जब हम बोलते हैं कि लग्जरी आइटम्स पे, एंटरटेनमेंट, मीडिया, एंटरटेनमेंट, एजुकेशन, हेल्थ, ये सारे के भी कॉस्ट्स बढ़ गए हैं. सो एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ इट देयर इज अ ह्यूज श्रिंकिंग ऑफ डिमांड इन यूरोजोन, followed by US data still shows that going is good, economy is doing very well. But अगर हम देखें तो US is also looking at a very weak growth starting 2023. Maybe it will slip into recession. And if you look, and if you've been reading newspapers, कल ही World Bank ने forecast किया है कि there is going to be a strong possibility of global recession. Most of the regions across the globe will go into recession. Recession यानी क्या? You look at a negative growth. पिछले साल के growth से इस साल growth घटती हुई positive में नहीं, negative में चली जाएगी. यानी GDP अगर समझो few lakh crores था तो वो 20% शायद कम हो सकता है. ऐसा contraction हम देखेंगे, ऐसी risk है across the globe. Why India therefore stands out is, as I said, of course the policies are good. हमारा inflation high है, no doubt about it, but it is still manageable. It is still manageable because we have seen the peaking of inflation in India. We will see inflation coming back to close to 6%. 8 महीने वो 6% के ऊपर रहा है. We will see it coming back. And then RBI and the government, fiscal or monetary policy together will have to work towards getting inflation lower and ensuring and unleashing a more durable growth. फिलहाल हम अभी भी 7% growth say we are content, because given the global conditions where everyone is talking of 1%, 2% or -1% or -2% growth, India stands tall as far as its growth number is concerned. Now coming to trade, as I said, exports are a very important engine for growth. Can anyone tell me, rupee pehle kahan hai abhi? Rupee, US dollar up? I'm sure imports or exports mein 80. तो 80 का रिस्क 85 की तरफ ज्यादा है या 74 जाने की तरफ ज्यादा है? ये शायद एक्सपोर्टर्स बोल रहे हैं. इंपोर्टर्स क्या बोल रहे हैं? देखिए, इसे कहते हैं विशफुल थिंकिंग, ओके? लेकिन हम इकोनॉमिस्ट विशफुल थिंकिंग पे विश्वास नहीं करते, हम फंडामेंटल्स पे जाते हैं. व्हाट आर द फंडामेंटल्स? क्यों रुपी ऊपर नीचे जाता है? हमको डिमांड सप्लाई ऑफ डॉलर देखना होता है, करेक्ट? इंडिया इज अ नेट इंपोर्टिंग इकोनॉमी, राइट? हम इंपोर्ट ज्यादा करते हैं, तो हमारा ट्रेड जो होता है हमेशा डेफिसिट में होता है. हम एक्सपोर्ट से इंपोर्ट ज्यादा करते हैं गुड्स में. सर्विसेज में हम नेट एक्सपोर्टर्स हैं, जैसे कि ऑल सॉफ्टवेयर सर्विसेज, बिजनेस सर्विसेज, अदर बिजनेस सर्विसेज. एक्सपोर्ट्स हम, वी आर नेट एक्सपोर्टर ऑफ सर्विसेज, बट एज फार एज merchandise is concerned, goods are concerned, we are a net importing economy, and that is why we are more sensitive to the rupee movements, right? And that is the reason. One is you have to look at is demand supply, okay, of dollars. अगर हमारा ट्रेड डेफिसिट ज़्यादा है, यानी हम इम्पोर्ट बहुत ज़्यादा कर रहे हैं, तो हमको उतने ज़्यादा डॉलर्स चाहिए रीपे करने के लिए, पे करने के लिए, ट्रेड के लिए. सो दैट इज़ वन. इंडिया ने डेट लिया होगा तो डेट रीपेमेंट होता है. ये तो हमारे बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट के डायनामिक्स हो गए, जो हम इकोनॉमिक्स में कहते हैं. करंट अकाउंट होता है और कैपिटल अकाउंट होता है. करंट अकाउंट में क्या होता है? ट्रेड डेफिसिट मैंने जैसे कहा, एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ सर्विसेज कहा, और जो हमारे इंडियंस बाहर जाते हैं वो रेमिटेंस भेजते हैं अपने फैमिलीज के खर्चे के लिए. तो दिस ऑल टुगेदर मेक्स अ करंट अकाउंट. ऑन अ नेट बेसिस, बिकॉज ट्रेड डेफिसिट बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, हम हमेशा करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट में ज़्यादा रहते हैं. यानी कि अभी आजकल के दौर में कहें तो हम फोरकास्ट कर रहे हैं 130 बिलियन हमारा करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट होगा. जीडीपी के जो रेशियो में होता है वो इंडिया में 2.5-3% इज काफ़ी. How much time? 1 minute, okay. 2.5-3% मैनेजेबल होता है. इस बार शायद हमारा 3.5 और 4 के बीच में होगा. इससे प्रेशर आएगा रुपी पे, करेक्ट? क्योंकि हम देखेंगे कि सप्लाई ऑफ डॉलर इज लेस देन डिमांड. अच्छा, सिर्फ डिमांड सप्लाई ऑफ डॉलर पे निर्भर नहीं होता. डॉलर की अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मार्केट में क्या कीमत है, दैट इज ऑल्सो इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट. उसे आप लोग, आई एम श्योर यू गाइज आर ट्रेडर्स, यू नो दैट DXY, डॉलर इंडेक्स, इज इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट. आपको पता है डॉलर इंडेक्स 20 ईयर हाई पे चल रहा है आजकल, 109 और 110 के आसपास. Why does it become important? Because जहाँ ग्लोबली बहुत रिस्क होती हैं, in a highly dollarized international economy, dollar is looked at as a safe haven. हालांकि प्रॉब्लम US से ओरिजिनेट हुई है, but dollar is still a safe haven because most of the central bank have dollar reserves. हम जो फॉरेक्स रिजर्व्स कहते हैं वो हमारे डॉलर में डिनोमिनेट होते हैं. दैट इज वाई डॉलर स्टिल इज परसीव्ड एज अ सेफ हेवन एसेट, एंड दैट इज द रीजन. जहां हम यूरोजोन रिसेशन देखेंगे, जापान में वेरी वीक ग्रोथ देखेंगे, यूके में भी रिसेशन देखेंगे, इमर्जिंग मार्केट्स थोड़ी वीक चल रही हैं, बट डेवलप्ड मार्केट्स बहुत ज़्यादा वीक चल रही हैं. तो उसकी वजह से डॉलर इंडेक्स जो अमंग्स बास्केट ऑफ करेंसीज जैसे येन, यूरो, GBP वगैरह होता है, it is running very high at a 20-year high level, and that is also causing rupee's weakness, because at the end of the day it is USD INR हम देखते हैं, correct? तो अगर USD strong हुआ तो obviously INR, that is rupee, will be weaker. लेकिन कितना weak है? I think even on that front India is doing far better. India is perhaps towards the mid of the pack. Maybe Indonesia is doing well. I will not talk of Turkey or Brazil, or those are the guys who are doing stronger, and Russian ruble, not to forget. They are doing stronger, but those are outliers, I would say. What in the normal course हम जो देख रहे हैं वो USD. Give me 30 seconds more. Thank you, Jen, for the generosity. वो हम देख रहे हैं कि rupee dollar is going to still remain weak. So why do we need to understand economics is, आप लोग बोलेंगे अरे आप ये तो भाषणबाजी कर रहे हो. Coming back to the same point, what is in it for me? But you have to understand even more closely as to why rupee is going to move up, why rupee is going to move down, why interest rates are going up, or why interest rates are going down. Growth कहाँ पर है? कौन से देशों में recession का risk है? कौन से देश? UAE is currently an oasis, literally in the desert. Why? Because you are looking at a far more stronger growth impulses in oil exporting economies than elsewhere. Luckily for India, UAE is a big trading partner, both for imports but equally for exports as well. So as a trader, you have to pick out regions and countries where growth looks relatively better, less impaired, less damaged. So you have to look at those regions where you can enhance. We have trade treaties, just as earlier speakers spoke, with UAE, Australia. We are trying to build and foster trade relations with across the regions. India, in my opinion, is in a very sweet spot, diplomatically also, in geopolitics. We have not burnt our bridges with Russia. We are importing cheap oil from them. We are very good friends with Middle East, oil again. We are balancing very well with the US, who's just frowned a little bit because of our international closeness, purely for economic reasons, not for geopolitics, with Russia and other regions. But coming to the point, India is in a very sweet spot, and that is going to stand us very well to take us through over the next 2 to 3 years to continue to exceed the global growth momentum and stay ahead. But coming back and to close the remarks, I would like to say that a 6% growth is nothing to party about. हम पार्टी नहीं कर सकते. हमको 7-7.5 के लिए aspire करना होगा, and which, as I said, our policy environment for the long term. What is the new ecosystem of policy? PLIs, thrust on MSME and agri-exports, आज announce हुई national logistics policy, NMP, disinvestment, digitization, asset reconstruction, national infra pipeline, bad bank, creation of bad bank. Tell me which better policy environment can you get at one go where India should be poised. So the idea, and I loved what in the first session, Mr. From Morbi, Mr. Nilesh said, go and seize the opportunity, carpe diem. Don't wait for government to come to you. Government has enough policies, RBI has enough policies. You got to go and seize the opportunities. You got to go and air your concerns and try and get a resolution. But you have to do it and not wait for them to come. This is the most glorious opportunity and window for India to seize the chances, and this is where we should remain proactive and not reactive. And I can assure you, I don't want to make it sound like a political bhashan here, but as an economist, I do feel that India has a very strong possibility and potential to grow at 7 to 7.5% plus over the next few years, as far as we get our game right. And for more of this, just last 1 minute on Quantico research. I've had 30 years of work experience with ICICI and CRISIL and Times Bank and Kotak Institutional Equities and Yes Bank as chief economist. 2020, I started my own economic advisory because I thought, जैसे मैंने पहले कहा, economic advice सबको चाहिए होती है. It's not just ज्ञानबाजी. But if you go to hire an economist, it's an expensive proposition because सिर्फ economics में हमको data भी खरीदना होगा. So instead of that, Quantico is trying to reach out to such audience where at a fraction of a cost, we can share our cumulative, my and my team's 50 years of work experience to be able to guide you to better investment decisions, business decisions, which will act as a strong input for your strategy of when to grow, how to grow, and when to back off when risks are thrust upon you. At this note, I'll close. Thank you.
Dr. Rao's company is our research partner, so take advantage of their research reports. So we will share with you few reports next week. Friends, you must be seeing that there are 10 speakers, including me now 11. One team is become now. One player is in a pavilion to pack up his baggage to go to the airport.
I was the night
So
watchman.
captain already given you the economic survey, the development happening in India. You should aware that now 19 billion US dollars deficit is there. GDP growth from 7.8 to 7% reduced. Why? क्या हम कम पढ़ रहे हैं या ये बैठे हुए बैंकर्स कम पढ़ रहे हैं या गवर्नमेंट कम पढ़ रही है, ये भी सोचने की बात है. इकोनॉमिक्स को बुलाने का मतलब है एक सिनारियो, जो मार्केट सिनारियो, इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट सिनारियो आपको ध्यान में आना चाहिए. यू शुड अवेयर अबाउट व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. नहीं तो हम सिर्फ अपना सुबह 9 to 7, 9 to 10 या 16 घंटे काम करते हैं, लेकिन क्या हमारा रुपी बढ़ रहा है, कम हो रहा है, डॉलर्स के मुकाबले हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं. जो लिबास इज हियर नाउ, वी वांट टू रीच इक्वल टू द डॉलर. प्राइम मिनिस्टर के एज से 8 रुपया ज़्यादा है हमारे डॉलर का रेट. सो हम सोचते हैं कि और कम हो जाए. सो वी डोंट वांट टू वेट टिल द 80 इज 80 a year. So best way how we can control, that is also most of the important. But nevertheless, आपको अभी लंच जाना है, फूड लेना है, अपने वहाँ फूड एंड फ्यूल, तो फ्यूल आपको लेके आना है वापस, एनर्जी लेके आना है, because there are few best speakers are there. So I am thankful to all the speakers, thankful to all the sponsors, especially HP with the Intel, Gati, Punjab National Bank, Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, LIC, GoTo.com, Credilix, SBI General Insurance, Research in India, Drip Capital, Kotak Bank, Aditya Bilan, all of you. Friends, exactly we will start 3:15. So try to take a lunch, business lunch, and you can come back for a knowledge lunch, knowledge food. Thank you very much.